He's very dominant, and then he picks one up for a slam, and then he just, for whatever reason, over-rotates and falls on his face.
On a slam. How can you fall over?
All you had to do was drop him from there, look. But he's still, I mean, it is a sign of things to come.
You're now dead. It's over. Your first.
Oli is already on the phone to Jerry Lawler. Get him down to Memphis. Hook him off.
We're to be finished with him. He's had one there. He fell over.
He couldn't do a slam, Jerry.
Boris, what have you done? That's the one thing you taught him, surely. And he fell. For God's sake.
Hello and welcome back to the only wrestling podcast that exclusively rebooks, reviews and reimagines the worst of wrestling's past. We are Better Call Creative, and as ever, my partner is to my left is going to shock the world. It is Jack Chance.
Hello.
And my partner to my right has just fell on his arse. It is Sam Chance.
Hello.
And if that doesn't give you an idea of who or what we are reviewing today, well, we were going to do a Shockmaster only podcast, but that might have been a 20-minute special. So we are going to look back on the life and times of one Fred. Well, he's not dead.
No.
He's not dead, is he?
No, no.
Thank God. We're looking back at Uncle Fred Ottman. Have you enjoyed traversing the territories with Fred?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So,
you went so pretty quick.
So, have you enjoyed Fred?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I want Fred.
Yeah, he's all right, old Fred.
Yeah, I watched him through the curtain.
Well, Fred Ottman was born on the 10th of August, 1956. So that would make him
old.
68, something like that now, something like that.
He was old.
He's
68 this year.
Yes, it would make him old, you're correct. And when he was born so early that there was no charts in Canada or Australia. So there was no way of the Aussies one-upping the UK #1, which was Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Fall being the key.
Why do fools fall through the wall?
By Frankie Lyman, or Lemon, if you will.
Lyman?
Yeah, apparently. And the US was My Prayer by The Platters.
The Platters?
The Platters.
There's a lot of this.
Yeah, I would imagine it was a ballad, a really gentle ballad that was non-offensive at all. The King and I was topping the box office, which is the film about.
And that's still going on. That is a really long film as well.
I don't know. I've never seen The King and I know there's a dance scene and the king is bald. There you go.
Well,
and of course, it's a podcast. So, you know what happens. West Bromwich Albion, they opened their campaign with a 4-2 loss at Sheffield Wednesday. Because that's what we do. That is what we do. Whereas Liverpool were in the second division and opened with a 3-2 loss at home at Anfield to Huddersfield. Huddersfield. Your first win that season at home was against Grimsby.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Fuck you, town.
Up the town. There's no video games, so deal with it.
It didn't exist.
I couldn't do anything
People
about
just
it.
sang doo-wop. That's it.
That was all that was happening in the 50s. We can't change
weird diners.
Oh dear. So, Uncle Fred, he began his career. He trained. You know who trained him? I mean, he was old, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what he trained in because he certainly doesn't have.
Already sharp. Well, this fella probably didn't do the avalanche. He's a bit more of a technical wizard.
Luther. Is it Johnny Saint?
Boris Milenko.
Boris.
Boris.
What have you done here?
But of course, he was always going to get a gig because it was massive, massive and fat.
Such a strange shape.
He's weird because there's one match where he looks fucking hench, like, and the bloke he's fighting doesn't. We'll get to him. We'll get to him a bit later on. He does. He looks proper like. He's a bit sort of like. He's shoulder heavy, and he's
chest wide, so his arms go over here.
Yeah. So it always makes him look like he's got little tiny triceratops on.
Fat sausage. Andy Fordham. It does look like Andy Fordham.
But yes, he was always going to get a break in wrestling, and
You're fat.
His first break was in the Georgia territory. Was it NWA Georgia or something?
Yeah, Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Which, the booker there was Ole Anderson, who features heavily in this video at the start. Did you watch all the video?
The whole show? I didn't watch the whole show.
No, the video that I sent you, you just clicked to
flick to where I needed to.
Because that angle was just weird. It was basically Ole going, I'm with a black man.
I was starting to watch it. I thought, I don't understand it. And
Yeah.
then Lars Sullivan, not Lars, Lars started to
Yeah.
They go back there.
He was his partner.
He is actually an Anderson. Ole isn't.
Yeah, the Andersons. But the Andersons get a black person with them. I think it's like
Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
If you move. That's all he should have said is praise God for this. What an old Thunderbolt.
Hall of Famer, we should say.
Should have done the Thunderbolt.
Yes. But basically, the whole premise here is that the bloke who is feuding with Ole Anderson, because it was territories, and this is what happened. There was one bad manager, and he feuded with a megastar. He's called JR, by the way. He's a black guy with a cowboy hat. And he has, he's got a new person, and his name's Siegfried the Giant.
Siegfried the Giant.
What a terrible name.
Come up with that name.
I think it is like a folklore thing where Siegfried is like a giant in Norse mythology, I think. But he doesn't look Norse. Like, he looks so un-Norse.
Tall, fat man.
Yeah. But anyway, he's billed as 6'9" by Gordon Soley. I'm not quite sure he's 6'9".
It's just jobbers of 5'2".
Yes, they've definitely got out and got two small men, and they are called Terry Ellis and Mark Hill. You are never going to have a career with those names. Sorry, lads. Terry Ellis bounces off big, strong Siegfried. Now, I'm thinking to myself, you ain't got to do a lot here.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't really got to do a lot. So, because he's just the monster destroying the jobbers. There can't be a lot that goes wrong here. So, let's see how he gets on. He drags both jobbers together. He's very dominant. And then he picks one up for a slam. And then he just, for whatever reason, over-rotates and falls on his face.
On a slam. How can you fall over?
All you had to do was drop him from there, look. But he's still, it is a sign of things to come.
You're now dead. It's over. Your first.
Ole is already on the phone to Jerry Lawler. Get him down to Memphis. Fuck him off.
To be finished with him. He's had one match. He fell over.
He couldn't do a slam, Jerry.
Boris, what have you got? That's the one thing you taught him, surely. And he fell. For God's sake.
Terry is back in. He tries a bear hug, but he's bumped down. Mark Hill takes back over, tries to test his strength, but obviously under pressure he's kicked down. The slam on Terry, at the very least, is better. He this time realises he doesn't have to fall with them. And then he hits a backbreaker, and he wins with like a suplex and a cocky pin. And he's after the match, his manager JR, not that one, but the other one, puts over his big man and continues to build his feud with the Andersons. And we will never see Siegfried in Georgia again. Anything to comment on his debut?
Just before fall over on the first move you do.
Fred can. It was all right. It is what it is, really.
Yeah, it's just.
He's very. Let's be kind. He's very green at this point. He's extremely green. Of course, he is big and he is a bastard. So he's going to Memphis and he's going to feud with Lawler, probably be the world champion for a week, and then drop it back to Lawler so he can be a 97-time champion. The Memphis promotion was CWA. It was actually Jerry Jewett's promotion, I think. Probably
but they booked like 6 months each.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, they used to swap it around. So Lawler
was champ 6 months.
Yeah,
and then he had 6 months off.
What have you done to my story, Jerry? Stop it.
How am I ending up feuding with this bloke?
What is Freddy Krueger here?
They have dropped the Siegfried the Giant, and they've just done what they do with all big southern bastards. Big Bubba.
Big Bubba.
He's obviously Big Bubba.
In case of emergency, Big Bubba.
Yes. The problem with trying to watch matches of this sort of era and Memphis is it seems like all the matches in Memphis happen not on TV.
Yeah.
They always happen in the week. In
On a
front of
Monday,
shit
the
done
same
everywhere.
arena.
Yeah, and then they just show you clips of what happened. So we're watching CW TV, and it recaps and highlights the shows taking place in front of big crowds on previous evenings. This one was from the 13th of December 1986, if you want to check it out on YouTube. Did you, either of you, watch a little bit before this when they did a video package
Of Lawler.
Yeah. To Take My Breath Away?
Yeah.
Take my breath away. It was the weirdest choice of music.
Yeah, it did.
It was so odd. It was really
another licensed song because I think when I looked at the description to see if you can skip through to it.
Credits to Berlin.
Yeah, it does. There's songs on the video. It says that. Take my breath away. And
I wouldn't bother suing them, to be honest, if I was you. Anyway, Lawler's out to have an interview with Lance Russell. We first off recap a match between Pat Tanaka and Great Kabuki, because of course we do. Kabuki is DQ'd for using his nunchucks. And then Lawler would come out, he would clean house, get rid of Kabuki, and I think it was General Yamamoto or something like that. That was his generic Japanese manager. He then talks about his match later on. So this is a towel match where you got to throw the towel in. His corner man is Eddie Marlin, and Big Bubba's is Downtown Bruno. He shaved his head a little bit, Big Bubba. And we're mid-match.
He's just dressed as the Blob. He's the X-Men as well.
He does look like the Blob. He does look like them. I wonder if because Lawler liked comics and stuff.
He's a big comic bloke.
So he might have actually done it for that reason. He does call him... Doesn't he call him Big Blubber or Big Blobber?
Big Blubber, I think. Big Blubber. Big Blubbly. Big Blubber. Lovely Blubber.
He said a few lovely That would have been a brilliant gimmick. The Novelly Bobbly. What a feud.
Or an object, Novelly Bobbly.
Anyway, he's choking Lawler, who starts to hulk up. He breaks free, clocks him with his right hands. He does have some good punches, Lawler, to be fair. Drops the strap. Bubba's all tied up in the ropes. He doesn't quite tie himself up right.
No.
It looks like he's going to break his wrist. Kabuki's out. And it takes a fucking age to set this up. Like, he's just standing there with a knocks for a while.
Come on, Jerry.
Lawler eventually turns around and he spits. Well, he calls it green mist, but he corrects himself after and says, no, it was red mist. Yeah. We know the red mist is the one that burns. Yes, what does green mist do?
Green's normal, red's
poisony or something. Black's blue puts you to sleep. Yeah. Purple, I don't know
Black,
what that does.
Dead.
You're blind for a few months.
You're blind forever.
Well, anyway, Big Bubba's on top now. He slams a blinded Lawler around the ring, and then he slams his head into the mat multiple times. Obviously, that's too much for Eddie Marlin. He's had it now. I'll throw in the towel. And I presume Big Bubba became the world champion for a week, and then lost it immediately after. It's hard to tell a lot from a clip show, but I do like how Memphis feels like an important territory. It feels like every match was hot. And for what small bit we saw of Big Bubba, he looks like he's slightly improved.
Yes.
Well,
he stood up for it.
Yeah, he didn't. I wish he had sprayed the mist himself, though. That was the new angle.
Bubba,
Yeah.
you're Japanese.
So, he would actually win the NWA Florida title. Do you know who he beat?
Everybody just won the world title back then.
I wonder why.
Well, you know who he
Considering it
beat?
was booking it.
Florida, was it Dusty?
He
Wasn't
beat
it?
Dusty, and he is related to Dusty.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
his brother-in-law, I think.
As his brother-in-law. Well, there you
Yeah.
go. We're not there yet.
That's
But he would then do a tour of Europe. Now,
Here we go.
Europe's biggest promotion was the German sort of catch-as-can wrestling promotion called CWF. CWF have they've had some good wrestlers come through CWF.
I think so. Alex Wright.
Alex Wright, that was the one I was thinking of. Alex Wright.
Or what was his father name? He was British, wasn't
Mr. Right.
he?
Oh yeah,
Marty Wright.
Marty Wright. Yeah.
Then
Mr. Wright. Yeah.
Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright came through there.
What's his name?
Mr.
Right.
Already argued with that. But it wore him.
But much the same as the
You don't
style.
want him training. You're wrestling, you just run around the ring doing the cheer.
That's why he couldn't do a slam. Much the same as the English promotions across the pond. They had one megastar.
He's got to be a big fat man.
Us in Europe, we like our fat men.
They love a fatty. Get a fatty on.
Their top star was one Otto Vons. I don't know whether he was the booker or involved in the book.
I think he owned it.
It's a wounded. He's fucking going over everyone. Bring everyone in and I'll beat them all.
Was he his brother who ran it or something?
Yeah.
You have to put yourself over all your fucking family.
Don't work for me, brother.
Say.
What a carny industry this is. But yes, Otto Vons. It is a first in the podcast. We're now about 200 episodes in, and we've finally arrived at an Otto Vons match. I wonder if we'll enjoy any more Otto Von matches in the future.
Oh, I think so.
Podcast, I think.
We've got to look at CWF.
Austrian wrestling.
Anyway, with no top, it is fair to be. So, one thing I should.
No, he's got a top on. He's got a top on.
No, I'm on about Big Steel, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's another thing. He's now dubbed Big Steel Man.
Big Man Steel.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'll put Big Steel Man. Why
Big Man Steel.
Big Man Steel.
That might be the German one. Because he was big steel man or big man steel in WF for a bit, wasn't
Yeah, Big Man Steel.
Yeah, we're trying to establish whether
Big
the man...
Steel Man is like
the German
character.
he? It's the German
Big
equivalent.
Steel Man
It's like
sounds like...
America to the dates the other way around. That's why his actual name is Big Steel Man.
Big Steel Man sounds like when the Power Rangers gave up and giving names to monsters, really.
Yeah.
Really.
The Big Steel Man!
Megazord!
Get out so bad, bloody.
But anyway, Big Man Steel or Big Steel Man, without a top, he does look in decent shape. He has got a massive chest.
Yeah,
Huge chest. One of the things,
It's a weird shape.
one of the things I don't particularly enjoy is they, for some reason, give their refs whistles.
Oh God!
Promotion.
Fucking hell! This
Well, he
fucking whistle.
doesn't do
Football
anything. I mean, that's it. The crowd will not understand what the referee's doing unless there's a
I did
whistle.
like Otto Vonsi's scene though. When that was the first thing.
I can't remember it.
It was sort of like umpire music for it.
Proper
farty thing. Here comes a big fat Ottman man. Go back and watch it. Let's
splice it in
What
there.
a boy.
What a man.
Oh, God.
Right, he shows early on what he learnt in wrestling school. I'm going to bump him with my belly. He did, yeah.
Otto Von slammed down. Drove me to see that.
No.
Slammed him down.
I beat the French. There.
Oh dear. Otto, as I say, learned very quickly from Big Daddy's style, which is I just bump you with my belly. But he has a little bit more agility than Big Daddy because he does like a forward roll,
It's a roll.
over people.
Roly-poly. A roly-poly. Get that ball ring.
Steele has to regroup because he must be thinking, well, I'm going to beat this bloke. He's already busted out the belly bump and the roll.
There's a road belly and a belly bump.
I can't work this bloke out.
I've got 5 more rounds.
Well, don't worry, because for the rest of the fucking match, we're going to have an arm bar or a chin lock.
Or a chocolate bar.
They do trade clubs for a while. Otto defiant as Steele backs away shocked. He's got Adidas on his trunks as well.
I noticed that. That made me smile. What an advert. What an advert for Adidas.
That's what I mean. You want Michael Jordan. You want Otto Vons.
That's a big fat like the Michael Jordan pose. Otto Vons. Bloody hell, Michael Jordan put on weight. Oh, wait, no.
Get that man a trainer deal. Oh dear, there's more arm work, by the way. Top wrist lock, and the bell sounds, and obviously this indicates
It ain't
the
really a
first
bell, is it? It's just like a weird
buzzer, like, yeah.
noise, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's like an alien thing. They should have had the prices right wrong. It's such a weird noise.
Yeah, so it's round system, as was a lot of European
That's
wrestling.
what the style in Europe.
I think there must be some sort of
Law.
judges, because the
Judge?
Well, I think the bloke keeps whistling and pointing at these judges to sort of, I assume, deduct points or whatever. Otto's celebrating.
There they are.
That's what I love. After the first round, he gets something as a
Right,
celebration.
won that round. One. Did a rally pole.
Second round, Steele locks in a chin lock. Oh, God.
Let's have a break.
Otto
He
feeds...
got very shiny, didn't
He really did. Otto feeds the crowd, trying and then failing, and then trying and then failing to break the hold. The crowd start chanting for their hero as this fall is about to end, and he's just about getting out of the chin lock. The referee's really in your face in this. Eventually, Otto breaks out of the hold, uses a neck toss, and then a forward roll again over Big Steele. Otto dumps Steele gently over the top to the outside. Third round now. We start with the test of strength. There's big headbutts by Steele. He's very heel. Big Steele then clubs... big clubs by Big Steele and chokes with the referee, admonishes with his whistle. It's very strong style, though. I do think the difference between this and maybe a Big Daddy match is, like, you don't club Big Daddy.
No.
Gently tickle his
With
chest.
a bucket. Public warning.
He does recover now and works the leg of Big Steele, but he's saved by the bell. Round 4, Otto gets the advantage, locking in a sleeper and a neck extender, and then a bear hug is locked in. Big Steele rolls through into another sleeper. Big Steele and Otto have a few seconds rest break. I mean, what? Rest? You've just sat on the ground. Before Steele grabs the leg, locks in a toe hold. Otto has to kick out a few times, but he's saved by the bell. Round 5. And Steele ignores the ref by beating down Otto with punches and clubs, mainly to the back.
Yellow card.
At this point, it's been way too long since we've had a chin lock, so we made sure we put one back in. And that's reversed. And you know how it's reversed? Into a chin lock. Oh, God. Match starts to fire up as both men clock each other stiffly. Big Steele takes his offence past the bell, though, and the cornermen rush in. They ain't very happy about that. Round 6. Oh, yes. 6 rounds of this, by the way. We spill to the outside, and Otto lays in shots, which gets him the dreaded yellow card.
Yellow card.
Referee. That's too much, that is. Big Man Steele has fucking bladed for this match.
Fucking hell,
And then
Lord.
seeing his own blood seems to power him up. He hits a slam. He goes to Brett's rope. He misses a splash. Otto goes mad now. He hits a clothesline. He hits a slam. And jumps his big old belly into a cover. And Otto has won to the delight of the Austrian, German, and European fans.
Hooray! Easy. Easy.
Jack?
I just liked when they announced the round and they go fourth. 5 in round 5 is my favourite. It's too long
Wait.
for two fatties, but I expected
worse. So they actually impressed me. They're not talking to a roly-poly.
Yeah.
But obviously, once he's done it,
Yeah,
it needs 4 rounds of
Well,
chin-lock.
I can't imagine Big Daddy went 6 rounds very often. Like,
2
I'm
rounds.
surprised you've gone 6 minutes.
Yeah.
We needed Otto v Big Daddy. That's what
That after the 2. Big
They'd
Daddy the heel in
it would have been in
Germany.
Saudi Arabia, wouldn't it?
No, it can't be Europe. Europe, neutral venue. France, and they ain't both on it.
No, the Arabians would love that. This is the only way we're going to be able to.
That's what they asked the Fed. If you got Otto Vance. Is he still alive?
I mean, he's such
Hot Fox. Hot empty.
He's
I'll
such-
have a look.
They
He's
could
such
be
a
all
weird.
elite.
He's such a weird folk hero, and he really is weird.
We just love big fatties. They're us Europeans.
I mean, I did like the stiffness of some of the clubs and stuff, but there was the groundwork. The problem with trying to be a technical
When you're fat.
when you're fat is just it's absolutely pointless.
Got
Isn't
a
it?
gut.
You just keep belly bumping.
I can't really do a lot of
You just
holds.
you don't see Big Daddy doing a fucking Boston Crab.
Fuck that up. Hit me belly, and that'll do.
I'm going to smack you with a bucket.
Listen here, Caspian.
How do you spell his surname? Because he ain't even on Wikipedia.
WANZ. Otto Vons.
Oh, I'm spelling it.
But it wasn't absolutely terrible.
No,
Like you
it's
say,
all
I was actually quietly impressed
And
by
he did look in shape. Well,
Yeah, big man Steel did.
it was the best he'd looked so far.
And
Oh,
probably no one. Like,
Oh yeah,
He is dead. He died in 2017
oh,
at 74, and it says here he was a boxer as well.
Jesus Christ.
June 13th, 1943.
I wonder what weight he was. Yeah,
flyweight.
Weight 170 kilograms or 375 pounds.
no, he was fatter than that.
Bollocks still there.
Fatter than that. Sam, thoughts on this match?
Oh, you can't go wrong with 2 fat men. Two big fat men just above it. And Otto Vance, man. We've got to do more of him.
Oh, what a
He's
bloke.
loyal.
I want to find like a whole pay-per-view of the German stuff, just because it must be. It's really strange because it is a very technical, ground-based one, and they've all gone. But we still prefer the fat bloke.
We prefer all these people like Regal and all that go over and do these tours. We just gotta watch Otto. It's just easy.
I mean, they have a
Really,
good
yeah.
Big Daddy, you know, say, oh, he killed the wrestling over here because he was just a fat man who don't do anything. They've got a fat man there.
Everyone loves a fat man. And in a minute, we'll get to a War Games, and the most over bloke is fat. Anyway. We make a big leap now with Big Man Steel because thanks to his family member being now up north, Dusty Rhodes, he was recommended to Vince to be
Is that how
bought.
he got in?
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
bought into the
I thought it was
WWF.
Hogan.
Well, more on him later. And he, as Sam said earlier on, he was bought in as Big Man Steel and as a heel
I think,
under Slick.
Yeah, because Slick managed Earthquake for a little bit.
Slick
as
got
well.
all the fatties there.
Yeah.
All the fat heels. thinking of Slick.
You get fat, man.
He also was called Tugboat. So he was a heel, but then they quickly turned him face. I don't know. He has got a kind of natural face. If that
He
makes
just
sense.
looks
Like a nice man.
simple, though.
Yeah.
You just think,
He ain't
oh,
the big,
I like
simple,
He
fat
ain't
man.
quite like scary enough to be
yeah,
like a heel.
earthquake.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah.
Earthquake shot at you. When he shot at you, you just go, oh.
So they quickly
Bless
turned him
him.
face. And obviously Vince looked at him and he said, "It reminds me of a boat."
You look like a boat.
Get that man a sailor's hat.
I've seen this new show called Tonks. Have you heard of it? I think it was on at that time.
99.10.
This roster needs is a boat. We need more boats.
So yeah, I mean, I know there was quite a lot of outlandish gimmicks, but it was for the first time someone has legitimately been made into a mode of transport. So he is a boat now, and he was given the name.
WCW and the ice train. We could have a boat.
Yeah, he was given the name Tugboat Tyler, and then it became Tugboat Thomas. And we'll see how quickly that lasts in our opening match.
Vince decides I ain't fucking surname. Get rid of it.
One name. That's all the fans can fucking remember. One name.
Of course, just call him Thomas. I'm thinking he's a cat.
Or a train.
First name Tug, last name Boat.
So, he would start the debut off TV, beating a load of jobbers on the circuit before he made his TV debut on January 1990. And who better than the perennial job talent?
The loudest jobber in the...
He is, I will sell everything. It is Iron Mike Sharp. What a man. What a man.
He should have been Steel the Iron.
Yeah, there you go. It worked. Yeah, it would have worked. So he's put on a red and white tank top and a sailor's hat. So there you go. And he has debuted his Toot Toot Taunt, which is just him going, a lot. Every now and again.
Tugboats make that noise.
Every now and again. I don't think so. Every now and again.
Have you not seen a tugboat?
Whenever anything dies down, he'll just go, and that'll be it.
He just needs to slap Iron Mike Sharp and get the same noise.
He is announced as Tugboat Thomas by, I think, Mike McGurk, but his moniker just says Tugboat, so they've already dropped it. And I don't think the commentators refer to him as Tugboat Thomas.
No, they just call him Tugboat.
Tug. Iron Mike Sharp is here, and it's great to see. Because he trundles towards Tugboat. I mean, grunting all the way. I mean, everything he does is a sound. It just is a sound. You can't shift him, though. He tries for the slam and gargles as he fails. And then he whelps as he's... I've got loads of different descriptors for noises here. He whelps as he's slammed by Tugboat. Right, the next spot. So, oh God, this spot. This just shows the talent of Iron Mike Sharp. So, Tugboat ducks, Mike jumps over him, then Tugboat ducks his head, Mike Sharp takes a leapfrog, turns around, and then attempts the lowest, crappiest drop kick you have ever seen in your life.
The double thing.
Just to do a drop kick when he gets about that far off the ground. Drops,
hey,
and
Jesse
then immediately, he doesn't even have to go down to it. He just lifts his legs because he's like, I know the next spot is he's going to headbutt me in the balls, so I'm going to lift my legs immediately for it. What a man! He headbutts him to the balls. Just as I say, Jesse and Vince on commentary don't refer to Tugboat as Tugboat Thomas. He catches Big Mike with a big boot and then a standing drop kick, which is really impressive by Tuggers. To be fair, he does got a lot of height, and even Jesse Ventura sort of puts that over.
Yeah,
there's a big butt.
He didn't move.
Big headbutt in the corner.
Have you a big drop kick by a boat?
That's the question we all want to know. And of course, as Jack already has said, every big fat man does an avalanche. It won't be the last avalanche we see.
Oh God, no, it won't.
He does an avalanche and a running splash, which he does get quite a lot of height on, and he's won his opening match against Iron Mike. Jack, you love Iron Mike.
I do.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it's all right. What it is, it's just the debut of a character, let him do his moves, which aren't a lot, but
yeah, but that's all you need to do.
front drop kick, so it got him over for athleticism, and then obviously I shall use my belly for the rest, and work to treat, and I shall go, which is the main thing to get over.
Well, that's all you want. I am a sailor.
Then immediately when I get out that curtain, I'm doing the toot.
Iron Mike, that should have had a toot off. Iron Mike should have done it.
Toot off.
Fucking creepy goop here. Sam.
Oh, it was the loudest match I've ever had. Fucking Iron Mike Sharp, bloody hell.
Boy. It was brilliant. I enjoyed it just because of how soft it is.
Had Earthquake debuted at this point?
Yes, he debuted the year before, I think.
I think it's good the fact that there does feel like there's a distinct difference between two people who look very similar in many
ways. We have bad fat man, no good fat man.
But you know, the
universe is in
it is important that he doesn't work like a monster. Because if he works like a monster,
he works like a boat.
Yeah, he's got to work like a boat. Get over the gimmick, put a sailor hat on. He did literally. One of the things that was a shame for him is that he was seemingly there for Manias and just wasn't on the cards because he was there. He had a run against Brooklyn Brawler, Frenchie Martin, all the sort of job guys.
Top star.
Yeah,
Frenchie Martin was still around.
Yeah, he was on the roster.
He was working.
But he don't make it onto Mania 6, which is a bit of a shocker. When
what do you have to Mania 6? When did he debut?
January.
Oh, you did. Oh, okay.
So he didn't
come out and saved Herc when Quake squashed him.
That's what we would have wanted to see. Herc and Tugboat.
That's power and glory. Then power and boat.
Well, he should have been teamed with Brother Love to make the Love Boats, really, shouldn't he? But anyway,
or Steamboat.
Yes, Love Boats. But of course, one of the big breakthroughs is after Mania. They started to heat him up because they teamed him with the top guy, or no, not quite top guy because he's not got the belt anymore. Hulk.
But he won't go away.
We tried to get rid of him.
Haven't you got Suburban Commando? Bugger off, Hogan.
So yes,
honestly, he was behind that curtain.
He was teamed up with Hulk Hogan, and we are checking out the Brother Love show featuring Tugboat and Hulk Hogan, which is on YouTube. You can check it out. It's WWF Wrestling May 1990. There's a big long video which you can check this out on.
Yeah.
So, Brother Love, he puts over Tugboat as someone who has pushed around everyone in the WWF because he's a tugboat. Look, and out comes Tugboat. He's just so happy to be there. So, hey, right in his face. That's what you get. Yeah, ask me a question.
Toot in his face.
Yeah.
No, toot him off, mate.
Brother Love asks a question and he just goes in his face. He says he doesn't care if it was the Queen Mary, the US Enterprise, or the Love Boat.
Is he an actual boat?
Well, I think in his mind.
He's a boat.
But also, the US Enterprise is a starship, isn't it? Isn't it?
Is it Star Trek?
You're not a spaceship.
You're not taking them all on any ship. I'm fat here all about
the Millennium Falcon.
I sank the Titanic. I slammed it.
Well, more on the Titanic to come. Yes, he says if they come into Tugboat's harbour, they're getting pushed by the tugboat. Yeah. That's...
and eat his vitamins. And I'm the one that brought him to the WWF. And this is what happens, brother, when you live by the 3 commandments of Hulkamania. And you know what else is so beautiful about having a big tugboat around? If something was to happen on the high seas that it was to get a little rough for Hulkamania, brother, I can be assured that the tugboat's going to be watching my back and pushing me through the wake. And on the other hand, if something was to happen, that the Hulkster was to get a ship in distress call, brother, I would be there right by the tugboat side because the bond of friendship between me and the tugboat, you can't break it or no one else can. Tugboat and the Hulkster. Brother Hulkster, you're an awful big man. Interrupting the Brother Love show this week. But will you be here next week when I have a man even bigger than the tugboat? When I have the earthquake here next week? What about it, Hulk Hogan? One-on-one with the earthquake. Brother Love, I've said it before, and I'll
Oh dear. Hulk Hogan walks out and Brother Love is fucking mad.
What are you doing here? It's a tugboat.
Obviously known Tugboat since he was a little tugboat. He remembers him when he was a tiny little tugboat.
Hey, tugboat's tiny anyway. They're not big.
He brought him to the WWF.
So he's an aircraft carrier.
And he taught him and trained him to live by the 3 commandments of Hulkamania. Hulk says that Tugboat will watch his back and push him through stormy seas. Oh. And they've got a bond, and it's very strong, and then they have a little handshake. Brother Love says, are you going to be here for Earthquake next week? And he goes, I will be, because I'm Hulk Hogan. I'm here all the time.
I've seen the good fat man, and I will feud with the bad fat man.
He puts over that Hulkamania is the strongest force in the WWF. Later on, in the same video, right, Tugboat fights this random jobber. I can't remember his name now. I haven't made a note of it. But easily the best bit of that is that at the start, Hulk Hogan cuts a promo and he says that when he was a little tugboat...
You know something, Hulkamaniacs? I've known this big tugboat ever since he was a little teeny tugster, brother. When I was training him, we even went down to the deck of the Titanic and we hung and bung together. And now that I brought him to the WWF, he's going to push all these bad apples right out to sea. What you going to do when the tugster puts on you?
He went down to the ship of the deck of the Titanic with Tugboat, and they hung and bung together.
When was that? What year was the Titanic? 1912. How fucking old is Hogan saying in a year? No, I think what they did, they swam down to the wreckage. They swam down, they went down to the wreckage, hung and bung on the sea on one breath. Because I am Hulk Hogan. And he's a boat. He's not a submarine, he's a tugboat. How got him out the sea? Hogan sunk the boat. Fucking hell, how old are you two?
I'm not sure.
91! 1990.
I'm not sure it makes much sense, Hulk.
Hogan never missed it. 78 years ago. I still maintain. How old are you? Brutus was there with his smash face here and then going, oh, he got a new friend.
Proper frown.
Brutus's face on the wreckage of the Titanic.
Oh, what a man. And then, during the match, Tugboat is dealing, he's more than dealing with this jobber, but every now and again it will cut back to the curtains where you just see Hulk Hogan peer his little face with his Fu Manchu through and give a little grin. Oh, everything's all right. And then right at the end, just as Tuggers is going to get a win and celebrate on his own and get the crowd, no, of course we can't do that. Hulk has to come out.
Hulk should have come out and dropped the leg on the jump.
You're my brother.
There's nothing like a visual metaphor for Hogan and for Warrior's title reign than Hogan sneaking out and then just walking out. I'll take over from here, pal.
One of the good calls is that Bobby Heenan calls him Laurel and Hardy as well. Well, I assume Tugboat is Oliver Hardy.
Yeah, but ain't that sort of like the main one, the brain?
I don't know.
I don't think Hogan can stand Laurel, is he? For one, he can't do that with his head because he got no ear.
That's a good point. Still a brilliant call.
There's another point that you've got me into.
There is a sitcom to be written with Hogan and Tugboat. There is definitely a sitcom. That's still alive. The WWE Network can make this happen. The reuniting of Hulk Hogan and Tugboat. Get it done. Thoughts on, I suppose, rather than referencing what has happened, because I don't think any of us have an issue, what do we think about the teaming up of Tugboat with Hulk Hogan?
It's very quick to put Tugboat with Hogan, but it is just to counterbalance
you got
the
Brutus.
Quake.
Well, that as well, yeah. And also he knows he's going to take 2 months off in a bit to film them.
So, Tugboat, you will lose to Quake.
It is Suburban Commando he films during his break.
It is.
So, he would... the week after, Tugboat wasn't much help, even though he said he would always see him through stormy seas. A week later, he's dead. because he's squashed. He's squashed by the earthquake. But he does play sort of babyface on TV, carrying the feud by encouraging the Hulkamaniacs to send us down to dressed envelope to
send us money.
And right down.
And then everybody just got the WF catalogue for years after that.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. It was just a way of getting a dress. Yeah, what mail, I would say that.
Carny bastards. Hogan would be.
We needed a boat to do it.
Hogan would be set for return at SummerSlam, and he would have a corner man, and that would be Tugboat, or until, well, in kayfabe they say it was because he was injured, and he was injured on TV by earthquake, but he was replaced by the boss man. The rumour is that apparently being linked with Hogan went to his head, and they had to punish him.
They had to punish him because he became a big boat.
He was arriving in limos, eating caviar.
Now he can come on a big cruise ship.
He's got his own dressing room there.
Oh, fuck off, Tugboat. That's brilliant.
So they just replaced him with Bossman, which is amazing, isn't it? I mean, it was also as well. It was the whole storyline. Apparently, was geared up to Tugboat turning on him, so that Hogan had Tugboat at WrestleMania 7.
Chic Tugboat.
Obviously, then when the Gulf War broke out, they was going to make him Chic Tugboat, which that is confirmed by the people writing it. Though Bruce Pritchard has said,
Chic Tugboat. Chic boat.
Why do you need a boat in the desert? Why do the Arabians need a boat?
Luckily they got Slaughter with, thank God for that.
Tugboat would have been the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
How are we going to stylise this Ottman? Evil boat?
Why not just call him his real name, Ottman?
Yeah,
Ottman. It's a boat.
Well, Chic boat.
They were heel boats.
But thankfully, someone said, how about Sergeant Slaughter? He's much better for the role than this. So that did leave Tugboat floundering in the ocean.
Hey, bobbing along.
Yeah, bobbing along. God.
Oh, that's the opening thing, that is.
Hogan would sort of keep Tugboat around for a bit. He would be he would be in the Survivor. He would be in the Survivor Series match, but I think him and Earthquake.
Got double cat or DQ.
But we are doing Survivor Series 90 at the end of the year, so we'll check that match out then.
Barbarian got the push. Fucking Barbarian.
Then at the Royal Rumble, Hogan, being an absolute amazing friend, eliminated Tugboat in the Rumble.
To be fair though, there was a battle royal they did on Saturday night's main event after Hogan won the belt, and Tugboat eliminated it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So they were still teasing this feud that was going to happen.
I don't like bumps no more, brother.
But of course, Hogan was ready to fight Slaughter after winning the Rumble. They just needed to put a bow on the feud with Earthquake. So at Saturday night's main event, or the main event 5, it was Hulk Hogan and Tugboat versus Earthquake and Dino Bravo. This show as well, if you watch the whole show, Hogan is in every fucking segment.
Yeah,
he's on the fucking. He comes out for Slaughter and Duggan. He's out after
and they both get beat up, and yet they're both there with a flag at the end.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, Hogan.
And then he's announced by Funny Jack Tunney as the
because I watched that.
And then he cuts a promo.
Yeah, Mean Gene goes, well, who should have it? First is Hogan because he then got his rematch. Then there's Warrior who should have a rematch. And then I think he says Duggan because he got beat up earlier.
Well, he won the match. Duggan won the match.
I think that's what he said.
Slaughter didn't actually win a match when he was defending his title.
He should have said it's Duggan.
Tony should have said that. Look, he's just, of course, I've just signed a title match and he won. So he's the one.
Macho King Hogan Duggan.
Because I think Macho Man cuts a promo where he says,
he's number one contender.
I'm number one contender.
That was at the Rumble. He said Slaughter had agreed to it, and that's why they was building that up. But can you imagine if they did do that?
Oh,
Slaughter Savage.
I'd have loved, and Hogan versus Tuggers. That would have been the best Mania ever. So it's a very, very US heavy show. We see a range of Hogan military clips, and Vince McMahon and Roddy Piper are on the commentary. We will see Slaughter defend against Hacksaw later on. We just discussed that. So, Tuggers is... Well, first of all, Quake and Bravo interrupt Vince and head out to the ring. And then Tuggers is out next. Do you know what he does when he comes through the curtain?
Does he toot?
He does. He goes out, "Ooh, I'm here, just so everyone knows." So happy to be there. Hulk pops the crowd as Vince calls him the greatest superstar in wrestling.
Superstar
in wrestling. So we've definitely ended the Warrior trial. I think he's now distinctly number 2.
You're going to fight the other number 2, Sam.
Hulk and Bravo start us off. Bravo celebrating big as he pushes Hogan back, but this time Hulk wins the test of strength. He poses and then Atomic drops Bravo.
Did you hear Vince's maths with the weights of Earthquake and Bravo?
Oh, was it?
Because he said, I
remember
Quake was close to 400 or something. Yeah. And Dino Bravo's like 300 something. He goes, "Oh, that's about £1,000." No, it ain't.
Because of about 900.
Jesus, Vince, you're talking absolute bollocks there. Bravo's caught between the right hands of Tugboat and Hogan. Tugboat is in. He's caught with a big boot to the face and then Atomic dropped by Bravo. Quake gets in, but he misses his elbow. And then Hogan and Earthquake face off. He slams Bravo, and immediately we ain't build into anything tonight. I'm slamming Earthquake straight away.
We've had our feud.
Yeah. Corner Cloud's like, he does this weird beard rake, which I don't even think Quake knows how to sell. He would have sold, I'm sure he would, because he's a lovely man. But he rakes his beard, and I think he just, well, what am I supposed to do with that? And of course, the 10 punches quickly turn into Hogan being a heel and biting someone's face. There's a double big boot, but Earthquake is staggered, not dropped. He kicks Tugboat and regains control. I think they're keeping Hogan really, really strong because he's not going to sell any offense. So Tugboat is isolated. Earthquake hits the big elbow, but Hogan breaks up the pinfall at 2. There's a double clothesline by the heels behind the ref's back. Quake stamps and steps on Tuggers. There's a terrible bear hug, which Piper tries to sell as like, oh, well, if he's using his forehead, it's going to be more effective. But no, it's like you're pushing him away. Like, what are you doing? He is absolutely shattered by this. Tugboat recovers and he hits his avalanche, and then there's a clothesline, but behind the ref's back, Bravo uses a megaphone. Tugboat is isolated. The heel tactics are at play, so he missed the tag, and it allows a double slam. Earthquake does his gun show. And then he goes for his big whoopsie, but Hogan is in to the clothesline. He blocks it. This allows the hot tag. Hogan's in, big boot to Bravo, and he just rolls him.
No leg drop. I'm surprised they did a leg drop on Bravo.
Which with the roll up, mate.
Schoolboy, mate.
Fuck me.
That'll do.
Sam, thoughts on Saturday night's main event?
I mean, it was okay for what it was, really. You know, a decent tag match on the B show, was it? Or the A show?
Probably the A show, really, because it's like the prime time special.
Yeah, it only happened every so often days or something. But I was just surprised with no roll up. No leg drop, sorry. Yeah. When he did the roll up, I was like, that's how we won.
It just felt like they'd sacrificed everything to just make Hogan look really, really strong in this because they knew.
Because Fight Adnan on one of them.
Why does he need to look strong?
Because he's Hogan.
Because but Slaughter has never looked strong.
No.
Not beat.
He doesn't beat Hogan.
I would have argued that if you know where you're going to go, which they probably do, it would have been better to have some sort of reason for Tugboat and Hogan to spin off from this. So build that into the storyline. Tugboat, because of the way the match was, just felt like the fourth most important. Well, maybe not as irrelevant as Dino Bravo, but
Dino fucking.
I don't think it helps him being the heater.
No,
and that's the problem the natural disasters have really is that you've got to put heat on one of them.
Yeah, and the other one's less good shit.
Yes, but I don't think Tugboat needs to be the heater. He needs to be the person who's pretty dominant. So I didn't really that enjoy the match. It was fine for what it was. These sort of matches are always very easy to watch, but it weren't brilliant, I wouldn't say. Jack?
Yeah, it feels a bit weird for Hogan to be in this match, I would say, because he feels like he's a bigger star than Quake, Bravo and Tuggers. It's like with Savage against the Twin Towers. Or
It's
a lot of a relegation, and it's whether people was getting a bit fed up of Hogan by this point, I think.
Well, they've definitely...
91's definitely the year.
Well, I just think it's like we're just doing the same formula from 7 years ago.
But they all toot.
Everybody toots. no one in the crowd refuses a toot.
So,
everybody toots.
Vince should have been like, God damn, can no one see that we've got a megastar?
Can we get some merchandise on the toot?
Yeah, they must.
Can we sell a boat?
They've done them little Adam Bomb things.
Oh, the little...
They should have had little tugboats with a little face on, like... like Thomas. Like Thomas, like Tugboat, like the Tugs, or whatever it's called. They should have had, like, Tugboat face on the end of the boat.
They should have done link up and say the special guest Tugboat.
And I'm sorry, Jack, but that has to be the artwork. You have to do Thomas, but his tugboat on the front of the boat. What a man.
He's got to have one big arm though, sticking out to me.
He has got massive arms, though, he.
They're not tiny, but fat.
No, but girthy arms. I think proper girth arm. Right, by the start of 1991, Tugboat, well and truly directionless. So he wasn't even put on to the Mania 7 card. Again, he missed out.
I think he was initially meant to be Taker's first loss. That was meant to be the... I don't know why he got took off there.
He could have been a tombstone forevermore.
Yeah. Tugboat. One.
Tugboat.
What a streak.
But yes, as Sam has just mentioned, he was put into a feud on the house shows with the relatively newly debuted Undertaker. And I think, looking at the timing of this super tape, it probably was predated Mania because he was with Brother Love, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So he was with Bearer.
He was with Bearer by then, yeah. I think Bearer come in, would have been after Rumble because Brother Love brought him out at Rumble.
I can't understand Brother Love's manager is shit. Like I know I don't like you anyway.
Well, he ain't teaming up with Taker,
I think he said he wanted the contest of item dog.
The evil
but it's crap.
Yeah,
it don't look good.
It don't look good at all. It looks terrible.
I'm meant to be like a minister who, you know, one of these religious nuts, and so I'll bring you out a dead man.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, yeah, we go into Super Tape 4, which is on it's on the network. Those tapes are absolutely mad.
You know, you just to find it.
Did you? I just searched Tugboat and there was 2 videos.
I should have done that. Well, I tried to find where it was, but you know, where the network is. You got to click here, click here.
If you don't use the search, it's a nightmare.
I was clicking on something like the WCW one. I kept clicking in, wouldn't happen. I had to close the app to reopen it. Bloody thing.
Yeah, it's not the most optimised, but don't worry, we'll be on Netflix soon. So
that's
all.
Netflix Tugboat. Better advertising.
You'll have Baby Reindeer, and then the next thing will be Tugboat. So it'll be
Tugboat. Number 1 in the UK.
He'll be on Piers Morgan next week, I'm telling you. Anyway.
What a man.
So as I said, Brother Love is still with Undertaker at this point, and like they definitely fleshed out what the Undertaker really is.
No,
because there's no sit-ups and all that sort of stuff. He does work like a zombie, but not quite as zombie-like as he goes.
Did you see the clearly high fan that they went to?
Absolutely.
I mean, there's looking scared and there's just zoned there.
It's definitely just
that did make me laugh when
was it Alfred? It's Alfred and Mooney.
Yeah, because they always did the tapes. I
love Lord Al. It's just amazing.
He
Lord
is brilliant.
Tugboat gets some love from the crowd. He does pop the crowd, to be fair. He always seems to pop it. Yeah, he gets people over. So we get the Giants trying to shift each other early on. Now, I don't know how long Taker's been wrestling. We know Tugboat's been wrestling about 4 years at this point. What the fuck happened here? So they're trying Irish Whip. And Undertaker just stops randomly. I don't know whether it's Tugboat or Undertaker, but he just turns around and grabs him by the face. And then there's definitely some miscommunication because I don't know whether I think his Tugboat doesn't duck his head as Undertaker goes for a
leapfrog.
So it just brings his knee back into his face. But it looks awful. Very, very sloppy. Undertaker hits a snap near, misses his elbow. He isn't doing his zombie sit-up at this point. Tugboat misses his own elbow drop. And this match, there's no one gets any sort of offence. Like, everyone just misses shit. All the time. Just, you miss an elbow. I miss an elbow. You pull me off there. I miss that. Undertaker chokes Tuggers in the corner but misses his charge. But Tugboat can't slam Undertaker and falls backwards.
Why? What? You're fatter than him. He's just tall. He's not like that.
Yeah. We get into a slugfest, but Undertaker rakes the eyes. He wants to hit old school, but he's thrown across the ring. A scoop slam is hit poorly by Tugboat. I mean, he nearly breaks his neck. He sells it. He sells it himself, by the way, Tugboat. He hits that scoop slam and has to sell it himself.
At least he stayed on his feet this time.
Undertaker is up. Tugboat misses his avalanche. Taker does his rope walk elbow because, of course, he's not going to do a tombstone, and he wins. And I'll tell you one thing: on that basis alone, I'm calling Snooker because
I was about to say, do you think this was sort of like, let's see how they get on together?
This
and
was,
if they do all right, this could be, Taker's first Mania match.
This was terrible, like really, really sloppy, really, really poor. Sam.
I just kept thinking it was strange when he laid the sit-up. Like he was selling, and I thought, this don't look right, this don't.
I know what you mean, yeah.
It's very strange when you look back at very early times.
I always thought that was just part of the gimmick. So I've seen a match where he didn't do the sit-up.
He don't do the quick, he just does the slow sort of...
He does sort of sit up.
Slowly sits up doing.
But he doesn't like do his proper...
do the big sort of...
after
hitting it for the spot.
Just weird and... God, he's the wrong
there was no chemistry. Yeah. I know that there is an element of greenness, but there's just no chemistry here. They couldn't write a match either. Like I say, it was just a case of you miss something, you miss something.
Yeah, we can't even hit his finish. Let's have to do a fist drop off the top. I never do this. Yeah, it was awful. It was really cack.
Yeah,
they had like 5 minutes and they've messed up 4.
Yeah, it was just.
You had 5 minutes to get up the 4 of them.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah.
Well, it harmed the Undertaker.
I just couldn't believe that this had any chance of potentially winning the worst match of the night.
I can't believe that it made the super tape.
I can't believe Clive from Hull requested this.
That's your fault. That's what Sean Mooney just said.
He should have gone back to Mooney in the back of that van, and him and Al should have been really pissed off.
Throwing that tape off the back.
I don't need that anymore. Reversing the truck over it, smash it up. We don't want to watch that again.
Just the tape flying off a bridge.
Well, that's good shit. Here's LOD.
I guarantee there's probably some outtakes of them doing that.
Where's the Orient Express? Get them out here and heat the crowd back up.
Who went for Sean being crushed?
The next one was that, yeah.
Sean being crushed.
Rocker Sean versus
Demolition
Crush.
That confused me. I thought it was the Rockers Demolition.
Oh,
who wanted that?
No one. 2 years running, Tugboat's Mr. Mania. But by May, the Tugboat gimmick was floundering. I think it was taking on water at that point. He had lost in his IC title match to Mr.
He got a title match
after that display.
Give that man a belt.
And he would be teamed up. I love this. There's some brilliant stuff around this. The way to avoid a tag is amazing in this. But anyway, he's teaming up with the Bushwhackers to go against the Nasty Boys and Earthquake, who are a team because they're aligned with Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, it's basically you have the same heel manager, you will team. I'm surprised the bad team they appear.
So this isn't on the network, is it? Because it was probably from Primetime Wrestling, I assume. And there ain't much. I don't think the Primetime Wrestling.
The Wrestling Challenge, I think.
Yeah.
How is it?
On the net?
But you can get it on
only a few.
Yeah.
You can get it on YouTube quite easily. Just search how Tugboat became Typhoon.
Listen to the exact moment Roddy Piper's heart breaks when Tugboat.
Ah, it's brilliant. I like Piper though. When he chooses to like someone, he fucking loves them.
Everybody loves Fred.
So, Mean Gene introduces Earthquake and Jimmy Hart before the matches. Who we go to, and I think he's building up that something's happened. Something's happened.
Oh, Botch turned. Should have been Butch. Butch is there.
What the hell? What kind of disaster would Butch be? Trench foot.
It's the gout. That's why he had a natural disaster. Yeah, gout. Severe wind through a gust. Severe wind, bloody puddle. Here comes his puddle. Here comes downpour. Minor flooding. Here comes drizzle.
Oh dear.
Drizzle.
The Nasty Boys are led out by Jimmy Hart first. They're the tag champs. Did they win them at Mania 7?
Yeah, they did. It was a way of Brett going, I've had it off the Jim. How the belt?
I can't keep snorting cocaine with him. He's bloody going to kill me.
How would you sort him out?
I don't quite like Vince Piper and Savage on commentary. It always feels a little bit sort of top heavy for me, that. Piper loves him some bushwhackers though. Oh, he loves them.
That is mate.
Tugboat, even if he is turning, I'm getting the last few drops of out of this.
No more tooting after tonight. No. Since when have you heard a Typhoon toot?
The day the toot died.
Yes. Don McLean's going to write that.
The last toot.
Luke and Nob start us off. Luke
Wrestling. That's amazing, eh? Luke and Knobs.
Luke and Knobs.
Luke recovers with a clothesline out the corner. He goes to tag Tugboat, but Tugboat turns his back and just goes,
I'm getting these toots in.
Amazing.
Sorry, Luke.
I missed you there, pal. Sorry, I was just tooting.
Just tooting.
Butch gets the tag instead. He hits a knee to the belly welly and then a knee lift, which gets the same reaction. No tag from Tugboat. Luke avoids the charge and then bites to the face. And this time, when he goes to the toot, he just tags him anyway. He just goes, well, bollocks to you. Silly arse.
In.
So we've got the big sort of face-off. I think they are building this as if like we really wanted to see this match. Tugboat versus Earthquake.
We've seen this in a lot of tag matches.
Yeah, Tugboat just tags out. And Luke is immediately beaten down by Earthquake.
Luke the feeder.
There's a double teamwork by the Nasties. Butch does the save. There's a big slam by Earthquake as Butch saves again. Everyone gets in. Oh, I love this turn. Tugboat just gets in and just waffles Butch with the clothesline. And then he hits a huge splash to Luke. And then there's the big quake onto Luke. And, yep. Tugboat gets in, he hugs it out with Earthquake.
No!
And Piper's heart breaks. No, Tugboat! Who's gonna toot now?
The toot.
Who's gonna move the boats for us in the harbour now? Macho Man suggests, quite rightly, he's a heel. Hogan's behind this.
He's a heel. That's all he does. Heel. Thanks, Savage.
Hogan's behind this. He's done it.
But I don't get it because Savage turned face.
I know, yeah.
So why are you the
This
heel?
period's really weird for Savage.
Well, he ends up at the end of the year, him and Piper are saving up.
That's what I mean. It's very strange.
You're a weird man.
So Tugboat has joined the forces of evil and Jimmy Hart. Gene wants to speak to him. I'm going to speak to Tugboat. He should have gone. And then that would have brought him back.
Sad toot.
Yeah. But of course, it's not Tugboat. Jimmy Hart corrects him. He introduces one half of the natural disasters. It is Red. No, it's Typhoon. It's Typhoon. And he's out. And he says that the WWF wrestlers are in for some bad weather.
Oh, no.
Yes.
More puns.
Yes. That's what we're in for. More badly made puns. He shakes hands with Bobby Heenan. Oh, I love the way this ends.
Funny.
Gene just goes, well, we're going to have a chat with Hogan. And then
he
just randomly goes, "Oh, he must be on the phone." And rushes to this randomly set up phone.
What you don't realise though, on the other end of that phone is Taker going, "Million, is that true? Million."
He just he screams down the phone, "Hogan, are you there? You were never there for me." Just starts screaming at him.
You didn't save him from Quake. Why aren't you at work? Where have you been phoning in sick?
That is the full stop on a heel turn. There's no coming back from this now.
I like the fact that Gene and Bobby were on the phone. I could call him. Oh
no! I did enjoy the match though for what it was. It was all geared around an angle, so the match was just an angle.
Yeah.
But I thought the heel turn was done well enough.
But for back then, yeah.
You spotted a mile off.
Yeah. Well, I ain't sure the fans do.
Like that. I mean,
but you can.
Because
you can. The moment he does that.
What's he tooting? It's a match going on.
He's never
Stop tooting. And why are you yelling at the phone? What's the phone ever done to you?
He's never tooted mid-match before. Yeah, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Jack?
Yeah, it was fine. It's fine for what it is. And it's probably the right thing to do. The Tugboat gimmick has sailed along and now has met its watery grave in the form of a typhoon.
Now it's on the bottom of the sea.
Punch.
Jesus Christ. Bottom of the sea next to the Titanic now, and Hogan's just hunging. There's no bunging anymore. What is a bung?
Toot and bung have gone.
Stan?
He was, fine for what it was. It's very strange considering these are 3 tag teams now that you've got in one match.
That's true, yeah. It's just spin off into 3. I think
Art's got another tag.
Well, the idea, I think, and he said, because he saw them feuding with Andre, which we see in the next match, but I think he was on about getting Andre to team with Quake.
The Whackers.
No. Andre to team with Quake. He was trying to get that.
That was leading up to Rumble because Andre was advertised for the 91 Rumble.
But it was to make sure that...
Going to be in it.
Yeah. Him and Honky was the 2 that wore it.
Get out.
There's more not walking giants later on. That's wonderful. Anyway, but for whatever reason, this now spins into a Natural Disasters Bushwhackers feud. But okay, we'll go with it. So we end up at SummerSlam 1991, and finally he's made it to pay-per-view. Well, I suppose has he ever been in a singles match on pay-per-view?
Old Tongue Job.
Because he was in the Rumble. He was at Survivor Series, but he weren't there.
It's his first singles match is against Awesome Kong. Let's figure that out.
It's not. Well,
we think it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's confusing.
We've still got to go down a few long and winding roads yet. Anyway. On the comms is Gorilla, Heenan, and Piper.
Heenan?
Yeah.
Don't he just walk off?
I've
got a feud to
Can you blame him? So we get the ring walks of the Disasters and Bushwhackers and a very sore looking...
Did you see the promo of the Bushwhackers before it?
No, I didn't.
Because they do a promo where they show what happened with, I think, Earthquake hitting Andre in the leg.
And that's what
so it's a way of explaining why he's on crutches, not the fact that he's clearly dying. But they hit him. But what they do, he goes, "Well, what do you think, Andre?" Then you just hear Butch start yelling and they start talking and Andre just looks at them. And then he says something which you can't with his crutch, and then that's it. It's brilliant. Watch it. It's brilliant. Just do what Andre looked a bit like confused.
There's part in this where he just looks fed up. When they put the little cap on him, he just looks so angry.
This is what I've become.
Yeah, I used to be the 8th wonder of the world.
People pay to see me. Now I'm with Butch.
He's a massive cheerleader. Oh, sorry, Piper is a massive cheerleader for the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
The Bushwhackers, I like the start. They sneak up on the Disasters and poke them in the eye. And then they put the chewed caps onto a sad-looking Andre. Typhoon and Butch start us off. And, of course, Butch chews on the arse of Typhoon.
That's a big arse.
Quake misses an attack and is sent into Typhoon. We see that a lot. Then Typhoon is whipped over into Earthquake. The battering ram lays out Typhoon and a double clothesline to Quake, and they are battering them at this point. They're absolutely battering them.
Shit, can these lot? Even bushwhackers.
They're
the lowest tag team. No, it's the Orient Express.
They do the amazing march around, and Andre looks mildly amused. Quake is back and he attacks Butch. He misses his elbow, but easily isolates and stops Butch making the tag. There's an elbow now to the spine. Typhoon works the back of Butch with a backbreaker, and he loads him onto his shoulder. Quake then locks in a spine buster. Locks in a bear hug. Heenan at this point goes, I've had enough of this. I'm off.
enough.
And he just texts him. Just texts him out. I'm off.
See him on the odd.
Don't we say, I've heard Hogan's turned up.
I would love to have been in the crowd though, because you don't know that's happening, so you would just look at the he's just got fed up.
Call me off. Typhoon and Luke.
The match ain't that bad.
And the Typhoon tries to pin, but Luke breaks it up, and for the second time, Quake clocks Typhoon. There's a small hot tag to Luke. It's a diving headbutt. I love that diving headbutt. The sort of Spike Dudley sort of diving headbutt. And then everyone's in. Battering rams to both disasters. Typhoon is sent into Quake, and he squares up to Andre. There's chaos now. Typhoon kicks out at 2. Luke is taken down, and inside, Quake does his Quake. And the disasters win the match. Afterwards, disasters size up Andre, and we get a much better tag team. We get the LOD to come out and spin us off into the next bit of feud for the disasters. Jack, thoughts on this?
It's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with it really. I don't expect him to go out and do the top wrestling.
No, you're not going to go.
It's all sort of based around a man who clearly cannot work, so why are we basing it around somebody who now has a bigger team to defend him? Is he going to have the pads on next time? I mean, why are we always building Andre Quake, which cannot happen because Andre cannot walk?
I just don't think this match actually got any more heat because Andre was there.
He just stood there, just looked sad, like,
everyone, I would just feel sad. Like, even then, I would have thought, why are we doing this?
Why do we keep carting this man out who can't walk?
Leave him alone.
Let him stay at home.
Like, yeah, I agree. I thought they, you know, I didn't like the fact that they sold as much as they did for the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, you have to a little bit.
Yeah.
I would have preferred a more dominant sort of finish, but you know, they am a step above the Bushwhackers, and I think you come away knowing that. And the LOD feud is the sensible feud for them because they're both big enough bastards.
Yeah, at least when they sell for them, you can believe it.
Yeah.
They just throw everyone around.
But yeah, I agree.
Whether you want to
the Andre main story point just seemed absolutely stupid.
We're never going to be able to do this match.
Yeah.
So why do we keep teasing
it? Exactly. And even if we did, I mean, now Quake is in a tag team. What are we going to do?
What's his partner?
It don't make sense.
His
crutch. Andre was there. I mean, Andre come out to help Bossman against Perfect at WrestleMania 10.
And then he had Bulldog at
the Royal Albert Hall for some reason. He just
thought he might not be over in his own country. So we need Andre.
Europe. You're over in Europe. They're like a fat man.
Sam, you like the Whackers.
The Whackers.
What was your thought?
It's fine for what it was, but Bobby Heenan, before you go around the other side of the ring, please, don't take away from this match. There's very little there anyway.
Yeah. If you take anything. I mean, he walked past. He must have walked past Andre as well, and there was no sort of like...
Yeah, they were like a...
He could have done that, like,
you know... But then again, that would have made the match even less so. With the Heenan selling for Andre.
Did he just come back for the next match?
I think there's a segment backstage where Hogan slams the door.
Yeah, slams the door on him because he's got the WCW belt. I think he comes back during the Virgil Ted match.
That's the next match. That is definitely the next match.
No, hang on. That one that keep Piper because Piper really loves Virgil.
No, but I think Heenan comes back for that match as well.
I thought he'd come back after it.
I'm sure Heenan's on the end of the commentary for that because he wins though, Virgil.
Yeah, he wins the $1 million belt.
And I'm sure he's giving him shit. Like a lot of shit, and Piper's obviously loving it. But yeah, anyway.
Belt.
Yeah, I mean that shows shit in it, really.
SummerSlam 91.
Really fucking.
It is fucking awful.
Yeah.
When you watch it. I mean,
anyway,
IRS great. Taker.
That's the definition.
Taker and Jake, and the two biggest heels, Not on the show.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
attack a bloke at his wedding.
Well, you got IRS, so you don't need much else.
So after this, LOD and the Natural Disasters would feud into a Royal Rumble. They would, I think, they turn before. Well, they do, don't they? Because they fight Money Inc. at Mania 8, don't they?
Yeah, it's because what happened is they Jimmy Hart sold their match to Money Inc. So they got the title shot and they beat LOD on an house show.
Never happened, did it?
I don't know
actually.
Possibly not, but I think that's what they're saying.
Hey, Hawk on the drugs.
Probably.
Hawk's on the drugs.
Stare to him. Just take the belt off him.
Yeah.
We've already given it to Mr. Perfect.
It's a puppet.
Yeah, so the Natural Disasters are quickly turned heel, quickly turned from heel to babyface, sorry, and they're aligned against Jimmy Hart.
But
now.
they turned the Nasties as well. It don't make sense.
Yes.
People like Jimmy Hart need a team for him.
I'm not really going to ask you your thoughts on this, but I sent you the clip anyway. The only sort of little clip you can find on the internet shows the end of the match. It's very confusing now because JR does the commentary and that E-Day starts at 93.
I think it would have been like a super tape or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like that. This is 4 rings ago. It was 2 years ago.
Steiner's on the fucking tag.
None of these are in the company.
He's a fucking shockmaster now. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's nothing really to reference.
A lot of shenanigans.
Earthquake
looked very happy.
He did win with the elbow, not the whoopsie, did he? So, but they win the belt. So I think they probably deserve the title run as well.
Yeah.
Because they're legit. I mean, they look legitimately like they should really win.
Yeah, they're 2 big fat men.
Yeah.
Babyface now.
So, who are you going to feud with?
The biggest problem was that obviously LOD were much more over, so that left them with the C or D tag teams, and at this point, the D tag team were the Beverly Brothers.
Can you imagine if they did a title switch here?
Well,
the Beverlys.
Yeah, no, I can't. Because they would never...
God, London would have rioted.
I love the Beverly Brothers in many ways. The stylisation, the music, the theme is amazing. But like then the bell rings and you just think, God, you was much better when you was feuding with Kellogg.
When you was not in that building. And the green screen. Your careers have been pretty shit.
One of your career is Von Wagner.
Yes, he's better though. There you go.
But my dad was a Beverly. Are you sure that's
God
something
for
to be proud
Von
of?
Wagner. So, yes, they've been paired up with the Beverly Brothers, and this is SummerSlam 1992. We're getting around SummerSlam 92 now, ain't we? We're pretty much going to watch every match.
Basically, we're going to do the crap, but we can't watch the show, so we'll pick out matches.
So, yeah, we've got a few... They did, before we get to that, they did have a few more title defences leading up to this.
Oh, God.
Do you want to know one of the teams that defended the title?
Like a song then in this
Was it like Colonel Mustafa and Dino Bravo?
Papa Shango and Skinner. Who put them together?
Give them the
bullshit. We've turned all our heels face. So we've got to Shango and Skinner.
Yes, I'm going to find that.
It's a European tour.
European
tour. I think it must have been around this because they'd have probably done a European tour when they was in.
Possibly.
It could have been on here. They could have done it on SummerSlam.
Oh, I'd have loved it.
Shango
and Skinner. That would have been brilliant. Skinner Day making it onto the card.
Oh, you know, Shango got on the pre-show.
What a fail.
So,
yeah, I will argue with anyone that 1992's best theme music is the Beverly Brothers. It is so 90s. It's the weirdest, campiest sort of fucking supermarket sweep kind of theme.
What is the gimmick?
I don't really know what they are, are they?
They're Beverly.
But what does that mean?
Not a clue. I think the Beverly Brothers is a play on Everly Brothers, so they're a bit sort of like campy. Yeah, I think it's like... I think that's what it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be a bit
like... They dress like that, the Everly Brothers.
They dress like a dairy milk.
I can't just
spacemen. I just think that they're spacemen.
Well, I don't quite get the stars on the gear. I assume it's just Spark. They're just trying to
do with the
almost dandy-like, I suppose. Maybe.
Dandy. Oh, you're the dandy.
It's a genius.
Where's the Beano?
Here
comes the Beano.
Here comes the Beano.
To be fair, though, they do look like desperate Dan.
Yeah.
On him, so that'd be the
I bet he likes a cow pie. The Genius does suit the Beverly Brothers really well.
He does.
And I like the Genius. He's such a good heater because he is a heel. Like he's such a heel.
Yeah.
He reads his poem, which references the Olympics and what I like about him though is he doesn't make it quite awful enough so you're laughing at how awful he is. So it's like he's taking himself serious, but then he's still a bit shit. It's brilliant.
The World Cup of 66. Oh, I know the date.
All right.
You've told us often enough. You got a point there, Genius.
True. Yeah, yank. The Disasters are very smiley now. They're carrying the belts. The crowd do love them though. They are definitely over with the crowd. The Beverleys jump the Disasters as they get in, but they're clotheslined and squashed between the Disasters as... I love Vince's references sometimes. Talk about the Earl of Sandwich. No one has, Vince.
Sandwiches. Let's get in a lot of British punches.
Typhoon and Blake pair up. What a match. Typhoon steps on him. I'm sure, Gary from Newcastle wanted to see that as a match.
Yeah, dream come true.
He misses a leg drop because they always miss things. But Blake tries to slam and fails. There's a corner charge, which is hit by Typhoon, but of course the Quake crushes Typhoon in the corner accidentally because Bow pulls out Blake. Bow is flapjacked onto Typhoon, but he power kicks him out to the outside. Diving headbutt by Blake. Big elite frog guillotine by the Beverleys as Typhoon is isolated. They cut the ring off in half, hitting him with an axe handle. There's a very sloppy spot which sees Typhoon roll into the headbutt as opposed to rolling away from it. There's certain fundamentals he just never learns.
Boris, what have you done?
We get the old school tag team spot of him missing the tag. And the Beverleys ram Typhoon into the corner. He comes out with a double clothesline. They stop the hot tag initially as Bow drop kicks Blake onto Typhoon. And then a face plant. The hot tag is teased. Blake has a metal scroll and he clocks Typhoon with it. Craig just says, "Oh, fuck this," and he drops the elbow on Blake. There's a double down. The hot tag's hit. Crowd go wild. Hip toss belly to belly. And then Quake powers through both men. Blake sent to the outside. And there's an assisted avalanche or a double avalanche in the corner. Running power slam. And then Quake hits the Quake, knocking off Blake off the apron to retain. He knocks Blake off the apron and he sits on Bow. And they retain the titles. The crowd are really hot for it though. Like it does help.
Well, I mean, they've been here forever.
Well, it does help this match because if this was like on a super tape, it would have been boring as hell.
Yeah.
Nothing unique, but very solid sort of WWF style tag team wrestling. The Beverleys do the job as heaters for the babyface comeback, and ultimately, they're much higher. There's a disparity in terms of quality of tag team here.
Oh yeah,
You're not Shango and Skin.
Jack,
why won't that feud?
It's just, it's fine. There's nothing particularly wrong with it. But it does feel like, why is this the belt match when we have LOD v Money Inc?
It does feel. It feels like when Brett tags the title.
The advertised belt match.
LOD Money Inc.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, it should have been that.
LOD Money Inc. is the feud, the tag feud, and this is the tag belt match.
Well, that's the danger.
There is no danger of the Beverly Brothers winning.
That's what they should have swerved everybody.
Even when they hit the metal scroll, Quake didn't even try and sell it. I'm dropped the elbow.
And Quake's obviously very fat or gassed or whatever because he just can't get in the ring at all. He has to just. I'm going to come in and do the hot tag.
He takes a break, and I don't know what happens, but the quality of Quake's matches really drop.
They
do drop a little bit.
And he has to, and I've said this, like Typhoon does his best, but he's not a natural heater. He doesn't naturally.
Especially for Bow.
Yeah, when you sell him for Bow and Blake, it's a problem in it. I didn't dislike the match, but it was just what it was. It was as good as I expected it could have possibly been, really.
It was what it was. It was a early 90s mid-card tag match, which for some reason was for the belt.
Yeah, it did seem like in '92 they lost a lot of the tag teams. Like all of a sudden, the tag team division was made. Well, yeah, exactly.
Well,
you got the Nasties.
The Nasties was with they don't turn till late '92 because that was on the pre-show. It was them and Mountie v Duggan and the Bushwhackers.
Well, I wonder if because the Bushwhackers are such a prominent team within the tag team division, but a comedy act, you lose a tag team there.
Yeah.
You've got LOD and the Natural Disasters on the same side of the face heel divide.
I mean, surely shouldn't you put the Nasty Boys against the Disasters?
Yeah.
Since Jimmy Hart has turned on them and he's still with the Nasty.
I can't understand. If we did a rebooking of SummerSlam '92, I don't think we'd all put Beverly's as the. I mean, we'd put.
They would have been in the first match.
Shango never know. They are officially a team.
Shango at this was meant to fight the team we seen against Hogan Warrior. That's what they was building from 8. But then when Hogan and then it turned out that he was going to fight Texas Tornado. But he went, so then it ended up being Tito.
What basis could you put like a feud? Why would Texas Tornado and Shango not like each other? There's no logic in it.
It's decent.
When he burnt his foot, would he not feel it?
Yeah. Burnt rubber. Woof! Go up.
Oh dear.
You could actually set fire to his foot, not underneath.
That's true, yeah. So of course they had no one really to naturally spin into a feud with. They were already starting to tease a feud with the Head Shrinkers, who was the recently debuted tag team, but they had to finish off their feud with Money Inc., which meant a title rematch on an episode of Wrestling Challenge. The start of this is extremely weird because they do a simulcast with WWF superstars, which is strange within of itself.
I now own
Vince predicts the Disasters will prevail, as Perfect suggests there'll be a new title reign.
I've seen the format.
Jimmy Hart's got a problem with the Nasty Boys, which is put over, but they head out. They're not happy. They're furious. They were told they would get the title shot next, so they square up to Money Inc. They do get a good pop. And DiBiase tries to buy them off. They take the money and then just batter them. Clothesline down Money Inc. So this is, I think, oh God. This is the turn, isn't it? This is the actual turn.
Yeah, sort of like the beginning, then at the end of the they carry it on.
No, they've just battered the contestants, and out come the contenders. And now come the big bastard dominant tag team champions. They're not in good shape. And they just start the match. Take this corner, this barge down. Typhoon and Quake hit a double avalanche onto DiBiase, who flops out the corner. Then Irwin trips Typhoon to stop the splash, and then they guillotine him on the middle rope, and that's it then. Like, then back to normal tag team match now. Money Inc. Money Inc. work over Typhoon in the corner with chops and punches. They ram Typhoon's spine first into the corner. IRS tries a suplex on Typhoon. Gorilla Ray having none of that.
You fool!
There's a hot tag to Quake, a big clubs and kicks, atomic drop to IRS, massive power slam, standing elbow, and out walk the Head Shrinkers. Typhoon squares up to him immediately. I have none of this. And then behind the referee's back, Quake is double teamed. They sort of throw him over the top, and he has to roll and clonk his head on the railing.
Yes, the roll. Let's say you stop an earthquake. Guardrail.
So Quake is out. We get a break. When we come back, he's struggling. Typhoon
still ain't got it.
Yeah, Typhoon. You could win. You could retain this with a count out. Nah, I'll roll him in.
Put him in.
IRS. I do like the finish though. He locks in a sleeper. They constantly work the sleeper hold basically. So Quake can break out of it. Then they put it back on. Eventually, it's put into the $1 Million Dream version of the sleeper, which is like a leak above.
Yeah, cover clutch.
Yeah, and that puts Quake to sleep. He briefly rallies, but he's got the 3 arm drops, and that doesn't happen very often.
No.
But
the
titles have changed on a $1 Million Dream.
We've got the Steiners coming. Get them on the heels.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay for what it was. I was got confused when the head shrinkers appeared.
But they did feud.
And they just chucking every tag team out.
They always seem to do this though, like where they spin off. Every match spins off into another feud. Like,
and I don't think the Disasters and the head shrinkers ever feuded.
They did fight on the house show, so I assume that was where they were going into like Survivor Series / main Royal Rumble Mania sort of thing.
I'm going to say Survivor Series, the head shrinkers fought High Energy.
Well, by the very shortly, Quake ain't there, so.
I think they realised that Quake's fat. It's like, not fat athletic, but it's just gone fat.
He's out of shape. Really, he's out of shape. I mean, I like the finish. That's the one thing I will say. I did like the finish. I thought it made Money Inc. look strong, even though there was a lot of excuse for the Disasters, which is a difficult thing to do with all the gaga around the match. And to be honest with you, the division probably needs Money Inc. to hold the belts. Yeah. Now you've got the Nasties, you've got the LOD, or the
LOD. You've got Iron.
You've got a lot of top baby faces coming in. Natural Disasters versus the Head Shrinkers. Again, it's them big bastard sort of things. It's the sensible feud. But that ain't a title feud. So I had no issues with them dropping the title at this point.
The Beverleys and the Bushwhackers for some reason.
I'm all right with that.
You two over there on your own.
You fight over Jameson. Jack?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was a bit weird at the start that they sort of,
started with the
cack all over the heels and then they just immediately get on top. Trips Typhoon. And then it's weird that they really have all the heat dumped on Quake. He's the one who gets beat down and then loses the match. I was surprised by the finish. I expected. I didn't know how they won the belts. I thought they'd just do it.
I always thought they was just running on an house show and it was never seen.
Well, I thought they'd just hit him with like a briefcase or something.
And they'd just do something and then he'd drop an elbow, sort of weird. But I was surprised the one with the finish. But it gets the finish over. I don't think Typhoon helps it by getting in and just start rubbing Quake's head or whatever. Quake! Wake up! And I was surprised that Quake took it. But it is the right decision to put the belts on. And then, two people who can work, who are heel, when all the teams and baby faces.
Yeah. You've just lost the belts, don't worry, the Nasty Boys will get the next shot. Yeah. But then again, they don't even get the shot at Mania because here comes Hogan.
They aren't they?
No, because it should have been them being Money Inc. and they got pissed off. That's why they left the Fed.
The Nasties would have been...
Because Hogan, who was their mate, went... Nah,
the Nasties just wouldn't have suited an outdoor Mania anyway, would they? They look more indoor, don't they?
Yeah, but I think the smell would have gone up in the air, so at least you got some wind.
Earthquake and Typhoon would struggle with the shrinkers on the circuit, basically.
Struggle with Sabu.
And then Earthquake would take a leave of absence not long after 1993 began. He was in the Rumble, though, I think.
And Typhoon, he eliminated Typhoon in the Rumble.
Wonderful.
They teased the match.
I don't know.
I don't think they ever teased it. I think
they just did it.
Yeah, they just did it. Because he eliminated Typhoon and then Yoko come out and he eliminated Quake. So it's sort of like, I'm the fat man.
Both. Why have we got to do this every time with our team?
That would have actually been a good spot. You say that, man.
Yeah.
Typhoon
was spun into a singles run now then, which he was kept quite strong off TV because he beat Repo Man, David Demento.
Oh, come on.
The Berserker.
Oh, come on.
Terry Taylor.
He did lose to Ram Bam in the 93.
But every time... No, that's exactly right. Every time he fought anyone of any quality, he lost, mainly Bam Bam, and he lost in the 1993
qualifying. Well, he's short. It's Typhoon, I mean, there ain't a lot of money on his own.
At that point, that's it. I mean, Typhoon ain't going to be a main bloke. So that by sort of June, he was gone. And he would then... head down south because thankfully his brother-in-law had some sway down there, so he brought him in for a shocking debut at Clash of the Champions 24. Oh my god,
have we watched this already?
No,
we did the Paul Romer one.
Okay. I was getting this confused. I thought this was around
the Fair for the Gold has a lot of great moments. So yeah, we're building towards the Fall Brawl War Games match. I love the flair for the gold set. It's so cheesy. Like WCW is shit normally of having any sort of like gaga and segments. And stuff. WWE just trance and with the barber shop and Piper's Pit and stuff. But I love the flair for the gold because he's so like it's like it feels like a proper chat show. And it's like
Ricky Lake.
Chatting with Rick. And for some reason, Arn Anderson is sat in the corner.
Oh, I love that.
What are you doing here?
So, yeah, the set is at the top of the stage, which I didn't actually realise. I don't know whether that was always the case, but it certainly was here.
It was always like,
I thought
the stage was there.
So I thought he was on the set, so I did as well, yeah. But obviously, he's at the top of the stage. He introduces Fifi the maid, which is Mrs. Flair.
Filmed in front of a live studio audience. The Flair for the gold.
It's his wife.
It's his wife, isn't it?
I don't think he is now. I think they've divorced.
Again.
He got another one.
Yeah.
Flair.
Flair
16 times.
Flair builds up and introduces Sting and Bulldog. They have matching gear.
Not quite the Allied powers yet.
Flair talks up War Games. Sting, what is it with Sting? I know I don't like Sting, but he just whoops. He just, woo! But what you did? There's no reason for him to do this. And then, for some reason, Flair mentions the word cooking, and Bulldog, he's got to now take over the thing. And he can't get that word out his fucking head. Sting's a cooking! Everyone's a cooking! I'm a cooking!
We'll see you in 3 years.
We'll
see you in 3 years, Bulldog.
You absolute cooking bastard.
Bulldog.
He gets up and they both scream. Just randomly get up.
Stop shouting.
Sarah said there was a lot of cocaine around at that point. Where they were all stunk of cocaine. Out comes Sid. He brings some sensibility.
Somebody mentioned cooking.
Just start shouting and telling him to shut up.
What's going on? No, Vader. He's I'm too big.
He says he will cool down when he wants to. All right.
Stop boiling. I'm going to stay up to the fan on.
Sid and Bulldog at this point are just shouting in each other's face.
Is this when you just randomly see Flair just?
Yeah, he just leaves.
No, but he leaves, but he's still there.
Well, you hear him in a bit.
Well, that's true. But he looks like a cardboard cutout. At the end, it's like. Somehow they've subtly swapped him with... No, because he stood at the patio door.
Why are you here anyway? You're not in the match.
Yeah. Well, I don't even understand this, because when we watched the Horsemen come back, I didn't realise there was
no compete from WWF.
I know.
That's why he had the flair for the gold.
I know,
on telly.
But he's on this show, though. He fights on this show.
Yeah. Don't correct me.
He does. No, he
I mean, on the
Clash, he teams with Sting.
Does he?
Yeah, to go against the Kongs, which we'll check. But
damn it, to the highest rated.
Yeah, but I don't understand now. I thought when the Horsemen come back,
the biggest rated. That's why they kept featuring him.
Well, oh god,
with Harley Race when he introduced him.
I thought there was heel the Horseman.
There was face at the beginning, and then
so when they're feuding with Nasties, they was the face.
Yeah,
I think so.
You remember that?
Well, I know Paul Roma turned heel on. So it's just very strange. Anyway,
because he got pointed at.
Yeah,
that's why he turned heel.
Which is wonderful. Which you can check out in our archives. Bulldog will let Sting tell the people who their secret partner is. Oh, that's the reason.
Because I can't remember.
That's the reason they're there, is to tell people of their secret partner. Sting promises their partner will shock the world because their partner is the Shockmaster.
Go down when I want to, Sting. It seems to me, if you was as smart as you act like you are, you wouldn't have waited this close to War Games to tell everybody who your partner is. Well, do you want me to tell you what I'm talking? No, you shut up when I'm talking. What talking to you? What I did? Who our secret partner is? Tell him, Sting. Come on, baby. No, I won't. Bishop, I'm gonna let Sting tell the people who the secret partner is gonna be. All I have to say is our partner is going to shock the world because he is none other than the Shockmaster! All right. The Shockmaster. I told you. Oh, God. I don't care who you are, boy. I don't give a damn who you are. You're gonna have us. You're gonna have Van Vader, and we're gonna be breathing through your neck.
So you're the man that rules the world. They call me the Shockmaster. You've ruled the world long enough, Sid Vicious. Get ready. Come on, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of me? Come and get me. Come after me, Sid. I'm ready. Along with Davy Boy, Sting, and Dusty Rhodes, we'll see you at the Fall Brawl at the War Games. Until then,
Here's another time. Shut up! Shut your stinking mouth!
We get a burst of fire. We're ready for the greatest debut of all time. And then the Shockmaster bursts through the wall and he just trips up. But not only that, his helmet falls off. There's murmurs of, oh God,
Oh God.
oh God, he fell on his ass. He fell on his ass.
But when Holy just shouted the voice, have you heard him laugh in the beginning? Holy can't laugh. He can laugh without the mic. Get on mic.
Holy can't stop himself laughing. Sid thankfully tries to regroup this and screams and points at the Shockmaster, who hasn't spoke yet. He eventually speaks in the Black Scorpion voice. And, I mean, the promo's awful. Come after me, Sid. Come after me.
Stid.
And I'm sure he says... Yeah, I'm sure he says... he builds the War Games match, but I'm sure he says it's Dusty Rhodes and not Dustin Rhodes. I'm sure he says it's Dusty Rhodes. I might be wrong. I mean...
Have you heard the Dusty Rhodes story after? When he gets back? Because he said Dusty was laughing. And he goes, he come in, put the slap the helmet on the table and goes, I think I fucked. And he said Dusty just carried on laughing. I think he said he had to leave because he was in like the gorilla, but he was laughing so hard he had to leave.
I mean, if you follow that on, the next match, Jesse Ventura just bursting out laughing.
Oh, that from
constantly laughs.
Shivani, that boom
Just laughs all the way through it.
Because I think I cut to break, and he does say, thank God we went to break. And then Ventura says something, that boom just laughing. Oh, my word.
I mean, what I will say is...
It is memorable.
I mean, if it had gone right,
This is Martin.
it is still a bloke in a stormtrooper's helmet. Like... Not looking very impressive.
I think it's better that he did fall. Because if he didn't fall and he did come through, and he's got that voice of Holy, and he's got the helmet on, which he can't obviously work in because it falls off when he just moves. What is the gimmick? And he's just got like the black coat and
I don't know what it
jeans
is.
or whatever. What the fuck? What's the gimmick? What is shocking? What is his electricity? I don't know what it is. What is
No
the
idea.
It doesn't seem like a baby face. So the fact that he fell over is the best thing that happened. Or whatever that incarnation.
I think I would argue without a doubt it is the best thing that ever happened to Fred Ottman. He don't realise this has given you a career.
He accepts it. Even the figures. The whole reason.
Like they're still with him upside down. Even the fact we're doing this podcast because of this.
Yeah, there ain't no way we'd have picked Fred Ottman's career.
He didn't fall over.
He didn't fall through a wall. I mean, it's amazing. It's such an amazing moment. But it will always have that sort of, if you're trying to critique it, you will always get to the point of thinking, well, what were you aiming for?
If this went right,
What's the gimmick?
if this went right, what the hell is this Shockmaster?
Yeah, because I thought about doing it as a rebook podcast more so than a
If he didn't
review. And just put it as if he didn't fall. But I wouldn't know. I just don't know what I would have done.
Because he's got a big fat man. But he's going to be like Oswald. He's going to have to take it. And then he's just Typhoon in jeans.
Just Tugboat.
In jeans, because he ain't going to wear the coat.
This is the bloke in
jeans. What's the gimmick? That's all I give you. What's the gimmick?
They're going to shoot the electric or something. Like
Raiden. Is he Raiden?
Fuck knows. It's just.
But I mean, it's still.
And it ain't a babyface.
Oh no, but
No,
it's still making.
If anything, that's his babyface turning, falling out.
It's still making Haku laugh to this day.
I did purposely watch that Dark Side of the Ring. Oh god. That was funny. She'd never seen it.
I mean, they probably repair it as best they can. I will say that for
Did you show Sarah?
No, I've erased it. This was still to come. But yeah, I think making him into a bumbling sort of Alfie DIY guy is probably as sensible a thing.
You couldn't
as you
keep
could
him
do.
as this whatever.
Whatever.
It's just fell over. Yeah, that fell off. For God's sake. Everybody laughed at you. Bulldog was so upset. Bulldog Day laughed. He was so off his head. Cooking. He's doing some burgers in the bed.
Sid. What was Sting doing? What was Sting laughing?
Sid tried to.
Yeah, Sid did try.
For everything you say about him, Sid at least tried to save Fred.
It's absolutely terrible, and you have to be a follow through. You can't. You can't not be in the War Games.
The best thing about this War Games is where it goes. It's just wonderful, this War Games, because it is without a doubt one of the worst things we'll ever watch in our lives. But anyway, we'll get to the.
He replaced Hulk.
Yeah, because
Hulk should have been in it.
But Animal was originally going to be Hulk.
Yeah,
he was going to be the Shock.
No, yeah, Hulk was going to be in the War Games. Yeah, because that's why Animal is the advisor.
Because he couldn't injured then.
Yeah, because I think he got the back thing down so he couldn't be in matches and shit. Because
I think he did the Lloyds of London.
Yeah,
everyone's on there.
Yeah. And then that stopped insurance.
Everyone's on it at this point.
But I think that's why he was it. Because I think on one of the WCW shows during the Dustin Rhodes match, I think he's either teaming with Hulk, and that's when Animal appears and helps him or something. I think we've seen it. Don't know who's fighting, but that's how they get him with it.
93 WCW is a wonderful weird.
And we have this on video. 93 is one of the few WCW pay-per-views we had.
The one thing I will always say about WCW is they do get the War Games right by and large in terms of the style. No, I mean the stylisation. Yeah. I love the reading of the rules with the same music. There's no unique entrances. They all come out to that music. Yeah. It all feels very ominous. It feels big. I don't know whether Buffer does the announcements on this.
No, it's Michael Capetta.
Yeah. The cage lowers. We get the whole teams walk out at this point as well. So all the teams around the ringside, which I think was the case for a while.
Yeah, they always
till the NWO probably.
Yeah.
So the first team are Harlem Heat, Cole and Kane. As Harlem Heat. Sid and Vader. And again, it's the same music playing, so this isn't a usual match. It carries on through. We've got, first of all, the team advisor, which was confusing until Sam has explained a little bit. But you still don't have to do it. It's Animal. Dustin Rhodes, who, as I say, I'm sure he said Dusty Rhodes, but Dustin Rhodes in the match. And Shockmaster, who's now a DIY man, got a hard hat.
It's a B&Q.
Is he on changing rooms?
And
you need a wall knock through.
Bulldog and Sting. So, the start of the match, Animal's looking around at his team and he's thinking, who do I send in first? I'm obviously sending him in. He's got a hard hat. So, Dustin Rhodes, ignoring the fact he's the team advisor. I know, but like, why have him then? Like, he's the team advisor and he just goes, bollocks, I'm going in.
And he wants Vader. I'm assuming Vader's already got in.
I think Vader might have injured him. I think
they were shooting out of the US.
Well, Vader starts for the heel. I mean, look, I'll tell you.
And to be fair, Dustin was booking at this time, and I think Dustin got a lot.
Well, Dustin did really well in this match. Yeah. No one else.
I immediately took my shoe off.
Yes.
Why do people do that?
Don't know, it's a Dusty Rhodes thing, that is, isn't it? Definitely a boot.
Surely if you kick your boot on and kick him, it's better than just going whack him with a shoe.
Yeah, it's got a foot in it.
Yeah.
Dustin fights, but he has tight ribs. He sells every shot that he lays in. He rallies with rights and the crowd pop. Takes off his cowboy boot and waffles Vader with it. There's a massive corner clothesline by Vader. And the camera's a bit too close for the initial sort of beatdown because you can't really appreciate it.
Dustin.
It's
I thought initially I might have accidentally zoomed in. And I thought, where's Dustin?
But there's big stiff forearms and jabs. Dustin fights back with a big right hand, but I love Vader just goes and jabs him in the ribs. He hits a massive Vader bomb. Shivani does a good job telling us the match can't end even if he wanted to quit. And then he fires back with a DDT. We do.
If he did, I'll quit. There you go.
We do. I do like the coin flip, and I quite like the fact that you've got everyone there so you can see. It's always going to be
lying down on the ramp.
Yeah, but I quite like it. And then the heels win.
Of course they do. They always win,
except for when they didn't, and then it was a worse match.
Yeah.
So we can't.
Faces shouldn't win.
No, of course they shouldn't. Vader catches. He's caught on a dive into a scoop slam. So Kane walks in. It's not that Kane though. It's Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray.
Dustin.
That's gotta be Kane. Oh no, Stevie Ray.
Dustin attacks, but he's overwhelmed. Vader holds Rhodes, so Kane can use the boot on him. But Dustin's busted open as he's sent into the cage.
Of course he is.
Now, I don't know whose road agent did this, but Sting's in next. So we ain't got no build towards our big white.
The big face that we've got.
Yeah. The heels head over to meet him. Sting fights through them. He sends Kane into the steel and it's a Stinger splash onto Vader. Samoan drop into the cage. Dustin Rhodes hits a clothesline to Kane and then Vader is sent into the cage as Sid Vicious is in next. So we're saving Cole till last.
That makes sense either.
No. It's a massive, very impressive one-handed choke that slam to Sting. Vader makes easy work of Dustin in the other ring. Sting face plants Sid down, and then Sting is sent into the top of the cage by the Powerbomb Bros. It never looks impressive.
Yeah. The roof's always sagging as well.
Yeah.
So it's just, what's this?
2 minutes have gone, so Bulldog is in next, which means the last two are going to be Cole and Shockmaster. What?
Put the match beyond. Begin.
Sid meets Bulldog and gets clothesline for his troubles. Bulldog then scoop slams a diving Vader. The babyfaces now have the advantage. Sid is now press slammed into the cage.
Why are they doing it to
Sid? You've got Stevie Ray in there.
Kane's over there.
I agree. Sid is sent head first into the cage as Cole, or Booker T, is last in for the heels.
It just does nothing.
No.
The Cole gets in and then doesn't get a spot.
Exactly. Sid laughs at Shockmaster, but they're getting battered at this point. But they do eventually get on top. Bulldog is dragged from the top turnbuckle. Booker T stops Dustin and then does an impressive sort of... Well, he charges over, and I think he misses the clothesline. I don't quite know the spot, but it looks impressive, the leap, at the very least. Dustin has a figure four leg lock on Sid, so at the moment they're in peril. And then Shockmaster comes in. He made it through the...
They don't even do a fall over.
No. Well, they go on the fact that he made it through the door and the ropes and stuff. He squares
up. I do explain it. When he's in the ring, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's how the ring falls over.
Yeah.
He should have fell over when he was just stood outside. He fucking slipped over or something.
Mr. Turtle. He squares up to Vader and clobbers him down. He sends Booker T into the cage a few times. Dustin uses his boot on Sid. Oh, I love this spot. This match is shit. I mean, really shit. Shockmaster locks in a bear hug on Booker. But, Sid, at one point, is wandering over there. I think someone must say, that's the finish. So he just sort of turns away and walks.
He's all right. He's all right.
And even that takes too long, but he eventually submits to the bear hug of doom. And the Shockmaster has won the fucking war game.
They just walk off.
And then that is it. Immediately. And it's crap as well, because, all you're left with is about 4 or 5 minutes of air you've got to fill. Of the heels demanding the babyfaces come back. And they don't.
No.
We demand satisfaction.
Sid actually says that, don't he? I demand satisfaction. Wait, the glove him, you're going to slap him.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Immediately go. Cactus is fighting Vader.
Yeah.
Don't worry about this shit.
Sid does fight Sting at Halloween.
It just, to me, makes the whole baby faces look weak. The fact that they don't go back and batter them, no one looks to be any worse for War Games apart from Dustin Rhodes. The only person who put any effort into this match was Dustin Rhodes. He's the only one who looks like he's been in a War Games match. The others, but I mean, it's really, really bad. Like really, really bad.
Yeah, it's just awful. It's one of the most forgettable War Games.
Without having seen all and every War Games, this is the worst. I'm joking. Well,
the
Hogan Warrior.
National
one probably is worse because no one understands what the fuck's going on with that.
It's that 3 teams in three, and then it's every man for himself. You can pin a bit,
but at least that had a bit of heat. Like there's nothing in this.
This is awful.
It's really bad.
It is crap.
There's no spots. Like the only spot that they do is Dustin refusing to follow Animal's orders.
I agree.
And then it don't lead to anything because they just win. Animal as well. What is you were saying we're going to start with the Shockmaster, and then you go, right, because he hasn't he's got to finish now, because he can't go in second. You were going to start with him. We put the big face and the big heel in like third and second, so we're left with Booker and Shockmaster. There's no spot.
Vader's the world champion.
Booker don't even get a spot.
No.
He just gets in and gets beat up. And then Shockmaster, who we've spent the last month saying he's a fool, wins the match. And then they just walk off. It's awful. It's really, really crap.
Yeah, really bad.
It's just what the feud is now, Shockmaster and Booker.
You know when you said about Sean Mooney throwing the tape out? I want to go back in time, find the tape and throw it out.
I know they weren't helped with the Shockmaster having to be in it after he fell out. But they could have booked it. They could have come up with 100 ideas and they chose the worst one.
Yeah,
because this is bloody awful.
So bad.
I'm sure I've watched every War Game at some point in my life. And this has got to be the worst.
It is one of the worst.
All the crowd couldn't care less. We've seen Flair.
At the end,
this is now cat.
At the end, when they go to Shivani and Jesse, you can see the red empty seats. They're all there. No one.
This is War Games. This is your match.
This is the big
thing that you do. And this one of you giving up.
I was just thinking back to Shockmaster's entrance. I don't know if it's Dutch Mantel who says you or somebody else who got when he falls over. Why don't the heels run over and start beating him up?
That would have bothered
the best of his head.
Nicked his helmet, yeah.
That would have killed him.
It could have come out in
the gear
like
you got him away then.
It's just terrible. It's just so bad.
It is awful.
It sums up.
Dustin Rhodes tried his best.
Yeah,
the first bit with him and Vader at least was okay.
Yeah.
Then he went downhill from there.
Well, that had some story, and Dustin with his ribs and his disobeyed Animal. You think, well, he might lose, and then I don't want to see Animal v Dustin, but at least you've got a feud there.
In a year's time,
the two most inconsequential people in the match have been involved in the finish.
That's what I mean. In a year's time, Hogan's in this company. Like, it just feels so. I mean, and the WWF are going through a difficult transitional period at this point. Like, they're still a million miles away from the WWF. And they've got Sid, Bulldog, Vader, Flair, Sting, Rude. They've got a lot of quality.
LOD.
Imagine the WWF equivalent.
And they still decided Typhoon will get the win with a bear hug.
Booker just shouts, I didn't quit! For God's sake!
And even Jesse Ventura goes, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
This is crap!
Awful.
See you next week.
Awful. So, the Shockmaster was kept around anyway, got into a small feud with Harlem Heat going into Halloween Havoc. But he didn't need just one partner, he needed two. So we found Ice Train and Charlie Norris.
We have to talk her at home.
Yeah.
Charlie
Norris.
Charlie Norris. I've got a comment about Charlie Norris.
He did sue him for racism.
He's fucking terrible, Charlie.
He is terrible.
Yeah, I should sue him for trying to tell me he's a wrestler because he's fucking awful.
You know, he did have a match on that Full Brawl show.
Oh, he's a damn good job. He's got no right to complain about fucking stereotyping and racism. He wouldn't have had a job if he did because he's awful.
But he is Native American as well. But you know, we fought at Full Brawl 93, Charlie Norris.
There's someone awful.
Big Sky.
Big Sky, yeah.
Big Sky.
Yeah.
What a match.
Big Sky. I saw that on the thumbnail and I thought, we should have done this whole show.
The bloke who played Sabretooth.
Oh, that's frigging Tyler May.
Yeah.
From UWA.
He's on WCW. Freaking awful. Like, awful.
Picked him up.
Yoshi Kwan fights
Yoshi Kwan.
Cactus Jack over a bag or something.
It's all bad bag.
What's
Anyway,
going on with this bloody company?
at least opens Halloween Havoc 93.
Keep them hot.
The only good thing about it is Harlem have got their
Well,
call
he
theme.
don't quite open it because you got the Shivani video where he turns into a demon and eats kids.
And even that's weird. And it's
He's
like,
dressed as Jesse there.
yeah, I did like that. Harlem are out to their theme tune. I don't know whether it's dubbed in because I don't know whether they had.
I'm going to say I got
thing.
really confused. I thought I don't think they had.
Thank God they didn't. And the Equaliser, Dave Sullivan.
The Equaliser.
What's that mean? He's always scores the
No, it means it's 1-1. That's what it means.
It's bloody.
1-1.
Oh,
He loves a draw. He don't
1 point.
He don't suit me with him.
No, but don't worry, because there's an even stranger team about to appear. It's Shockmaster, Ice Train, and not quite Tatanka Charlie Norris.
But Ice Train's theme that's playing.
Yeah.
Shockmaster's
But he's definitely the most over, Shockmaster.
Yeah, well, he stole the toots. He stole the toots from
the train and the boat.
From the boat.
And Charlie
He realised the toot will get me over.
Well, it didn't, though, did it? Not as much as.
The problem is, when he starts working, you realise he's far too bristly.
We've seen you against Scott Norton.
Ice Train is in first with Booker. They stall a bit, work the crowd. Train shows off his power, though, throwing Booker around.
Not the train.
Booker can't slam the big man. Again, I hate that spot because he's taller than you.
Yeah,
but
he's stronger than the train as well.
He slammed himself down and clothesline. Stevie is in. He fares no better and his face planted in the corner twice. Tomahawk chop from Charlie Norris. Charlie works the arm of Booker as Shockmaster is in. He lays in a headbutt and continues the arm work. He's definitely the most over with the crowd. He drops a leg drop onto the arm. Jesse gives shit about the klutz of the Shockmaster. And Stevie lifts a knee to slow Ice Train and the Heat double team. Equaliser is the last man to enter the match, which is probably a good thing. It kicks down Ice Train. He's on top until he ducks his head and has it dropped on the mat. He's so old, isn't he? He looks awful.
It's just a cack.
Yeah.
He gets a big push.
It's an Hogan friend.
Charlie can't shift the Equaliser. Apparently now we're doing a gimmick where he's "Don't call me Uncle Fred" as well. Apparently, I mean, when did that happen?
Why did we break kayfabe for the Shockmaster?
No idea.
Fred.
He deals with the Equaliser, the big slam. They do a whoop, there it is chant.
Yeah. I was going to say, is he the other men on a mission?
Yeah, men on the mission are so over, there's a chant for them on the other channel. Charlie Norris is fucking terrible as he hits a chop and runs into a boot and then eats a clothesline. I hate him, he really is awful. Booker, there's no way he should have gone on a pay-per-view. Booker, it's a big knee drop. I'm telling you, Vince would not have put Charlie Norris on a pay-per-view.
He wouldn't call him Charlie Norris.
Nah.
That's the most
He'd have been called
Native American name.
Warhawk or something.
Yeah. Chief Foot or something.
Chief Foot.
Little Plum.
Little Plum.
A version of the axe handle is hit. Shockmaster is in. After Booker misses a splash, he goes through the heels and he's added something to the bear hug, which is now a drop, which doesn't look like it would. It doesn't look like it would make any difference to the move.
I'm going to drop you on your feet.
It looks very ugly, but it's enough to end the match, which is probably a good thing. Sam, thoughts on that?
It's too fucking long. Poor Booker T. He had to sell.
Just look at these, the whole 6 of them, and you just think, why Marlon Meat involved in this?
I mean, I know hindsight's always good, but you do look at it then and you think, well, the Equalizer's a shit gimmick. Shockmaster, we've already told you that he's a fool. Ice Train is Ice Train. He's always going to have a lower, he's a low WCW gimmick. Charlie Norris is just fucking shit. So you got all of it, at least they've got a cool look.
Gimmick, and they're one of your best tag teams.
It's not being fucking jobbed everywhere.
I mean, this show is where the Nasty Boys and losing to bloody Bagwell and Scorpio. I can't believe that they adjust their tag team at this point. Like they are your tag team.
Bagwell and Scorpio.
To be fair though, I think the following 2 years you have a lot of the Nasties and all of it.
Yeah, well, but that's right. At least then recognise these are the best teams we've got.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrible. I can't for the life of me understand how anyone thought Charlie Norris and Equalizer being on a pay-per-view is good for your product. It just isn't. You would have been better off having Cole versus a Shockmaster just to play off on that being the ending of the match. I don't care who wins that, but it would have been better as a singles match. And maybe have someone come out to help Shockmaster and spin off into a tag match. And just sort it that way. You don't need Charlie Norris. You do not.
I do not doing something with him. He's very low cost.
But the thing is, was Charlie Norris feuding with the Equalizer? Was Ice Train feuding with the Equalizer? If not, why do they belong in this match?
Ice and heat. They're going to melt. He's just going to become the Train.
I'm going to say Equalizer has no heat.
Terrible. Terrible.
It's the only way they could eat him up.
Sam.
Oh, shit. Too long.
It's just the state of the...
Oh, you said, yeah.
Tell me again. I'm telling you about it.
You just don't know how to do the lower card.
That's all.
Sort of gimmicky.
This is the one with
the gimmicks for the toys. They're really cackers.
Yeah. They am good. They am good at getting to Tonka and
this
people
is the
like
show
that.
that
We can sell some tomahawks.
Cactus Vaders.
This is my point. I've thought about doing Halloween Havoc 93 before.
Well, you do have Bulldog v Regal for the TV titles.
It's just crap.
Did they?
Yeah, and they try and make it all about the British class system.
Brilliant. Jesus, brilliant. Well, Bulldog is definitely a Labour voter.
Yeah. He got on every pay-per-view, though, didn't he?
He
did. With the shock.
He did. Well, that's what I mean. This is his best pay-per-view run. He has loads of pay-per-view matches.
3 in a row.
Well, he actually appeared on the one that we didn't watch, which is Battle Bowl, and he was with one of the Kongs, I think, versus
the other Kong and somebody.
Yeah, and they lost. So that's what
the Shock lost.
Yeah,
Shock and the Kong, which one it was,
lost to the other
and this caused the feud with the Kongs. So we move forward to Starrcade, the big main. I don't know whether it's wrestling. I've said this before. I don't know whether it's wrestling fans have decided Starrcade was the main show
because it was the first.
Because it was the first. Because by this time, well, it was. What was the? Oh, this was a decent one, wasn't it? Because this was Flair
Vader, which should have been Sid Vader.
But this match, right? So he's fighting Awesome Kong, not Awesome Kong from TNA.
Not that one.
One of the Kongs, basically.
Not the good one.
So
Kong,
Kong, the
not
Kongs,
Bundy, not that one.
It's very confusing.
There's a lot of Kongs.
The Kongs are out, so it's King Kong and Awesome Kong. Awesome Kong, by the way, doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. So,
but King Kong does.
I tried to work out where you can find out. King Kong has one, yeah, but I don't know who he is.
Not the big ape.
No, every time you type in to go to the proper King Kong's Wikipedia page, it takes you to this King Kong and says, Did you mean
the real one?
He was just Batman in a match. This born a movie empire.
So they look a bit like, I suppose, in sort of the way they look. They like the headhunters a little bit, like little dumpy fat men.
Yeah.
Not tall fat men.
Can you imagine if the Godzilla films had this King Kong in it?
Oh, Godzilla wouldn't have a problem with these. Sort these out. That's the second, this film. So they enter, they sandwich Shockmaster in the corner. Awesome hit, I put it, Awesome hits a big splash. But it's not Awesome. because Jesse Ventura quite rightly says, well, that's King Kong in it. He's got King on his tights. What's going on?
And then they say, maybe they shower together and put on the wrong clothes.
Which is a brilliant justification. I think they've just forgot which one of them's supposed to be working the match.
Which one? King Kong, you want lower than awesome Kong.
Shockmaster.
When was they in the PWI 500 this year?
I'll have to find that out. I hope he put awesome over King. Shockmaster lifts a boot into King Kong. There's a massive flying body press, a big slam, and then Shockmaster just wins. Awesome Kong drops onto King Kong after the bell, and Shockmaster just walks off. That'll do.
Work here is done.
Actually, go back to the Halloween Havoc. As soon as the match finishes, don't win the equaliser, just carry on fighting.
Yeah, they do have a brawl, yeah. I mean, as squash matches go, how did they get that so wrong? Like, it's just a mess.
Just squashing monster.
They forgot which Kong's supposed to be working the match. But, I mean, it's, you know.
It is what, your day wanted to go more than a minute.
Even this, I mean...
Does it do?
What are we doing?
Do you think though? Again,
what's the point?
You got to remember. Now, well, the Kongs. Like, I know we laughed about it, but the Kongs were on that Clash fighting Flair and Sting. Yeah. Like, they might be lower.
They've always believed them big fat.
Why put the Shockmaster run? Let the Shockmaster run through them because they've lost all mystique now. He's just battered them both.
Yeah, both of them. And he falls over.
And this one point, Shockmaster has got a ceiling. He can't go any higher than this. Just some of the booking decisions around here.
Why does he need to be on? I mean, it's like 2 minutes, 5 minutes probably overall of this paper.
I just wonder whether it was. I just wonder whether it was a case of getting people paid because there's just no.
It's similar to what Mania was worried in the early days. Just get everyone.
They ain't going to get a lot of money, aren't they?
Well, the thing is, they've decided
50
now.
£50. The Kongs.
But
then again, only one of them got paid because one of them had the match, and it was the wrong
one.
Kong
got paid, and King Kong worked the match.
No wonder they were just split.
Oh dear. I mean, the one thing they have recognised is they need to get round the table and re-gimmick and repackage the Shockmaster. So they come up with this amazing idea now.
Who come up with this very late on a Friday?
Put super in front of it.
Just should have put super in front of it. Put a mask on it and have him claim that he's not the Shockmaster. That'll work. So we got the debut now of the Super Shockmaster.
Oh, Larry. Well,
Larry on commentary.
That's Tony Ashland.
Goes, well, he looks like a Shockmaster, doesn't he?
And he You're the Shockmaster.
Fucking hell, Larry. I'm trying to do something here, and you've immediately spit on half a word. The Shockmaster.
Even Tony Schiavone was like, yeah, I think it is.
Not having it. Not having it. Even if it is the third show of WCW, I'm not having you trying to lie to our fans.
As soon as he said that, I immediately went to Roddy Piper and Sam and Timber.
Oh, Larry. It's annoying, Larry. Come on.
No, I mean, he don't help it at all.
He's no help, but he is funny.
It's funny, but come on, Larry.
There's only 6 people watching anyway, Larry. Just make it believe for them. Super Shock. But by the way, the jobber's name is Mike Thor. So there you go.
Thor.
Super Shockmaster tosses him around. He lifts his knee. He walks over him. He headbutts him and chokes him. Tony Schiavone talks about him breaking the rules a little bit, which maybe that's somewhere where they were going to go. You've got this split personality where he's a bit more heelish under the mask because he's too lovable. I'm being really kind. There ain't no way you can recover with this, but maybe that would have been a bit more interesting. He wins with a big claw hold slam anyway. And then, like, if they were going to go with that, they interview him and he puts on a silly voice.
The Batman voice.
He does Batman. And he just builds a feud with Vader. He says
That's the thing, Vader's a heel, eh?
Yeah.
You've just worked heel.
Yeah.
And now you're calling out a heel.
It would have been better if he was really angry about him being considered the Shockmaster. Yeah, That's the way to go.
The whole thing as well feels like we're building to Shockmaster be Super Shockmaster, and it can't happen.
I'm not Shockmaster. That's my cousin or something.
Well, he puts him over. And he says that we're both impressive big men, and we've... Don't put him over.
And our father called us Shockmaster.
Shit.
Why don't they just do... What they always did it back in the day. Just repackage him as something new. It can be the mask and the gear, maybe not the lightning pulse or whatever, but just put him in a mask and do a new gimmick. What if we decided, no, but there's money in the Shockmaster?
That's the reason. And this is my point. Exactly right, that is. You've got Trucker Norm from Norm the Lunatic. They just went, well, he's now a trucker, and everyone just accepted it. No one cares enough to really go, no, well, he was mad last week. No one cares.
Not having it.
And also, as I say, this is on main event.
Larry.
No one's watching it, Larry, anyway.
This did make me laugh.
Larry.
Well, that's the Shockmaster.
It's got the same shape.
It's the same name.
They look
the same.
This is only did he appear again after this?
I think he might have had a job match, but he never did anything. Nothing went. And this is sort of early 94. By sort of mid 94, he's gone anyway. So
I wonder if that Typhoon outfit still fits.
Yeah. Well, luckily for Fred, his old mate Earthquake had handed his notice in at the WWF, which created a spot for him. Because obviously he was in a sort of semi-feud with Yoko. Yeah. So he returns on June 25th, 1994's episode of Superstars. Pierre is out as Gorilla and Lawler talk about Lawler's loss to Piper at King of the Ring, which you can check out in our archives. It is awful. Typhoon's big return.
Wrestling was cack. So cack around this point. How did we survive it?
Typhoon's big return is almost ignored by commentators.
Gorilla's pleasantly surprised. Oh, look who's here! Typhoon! Hello, friend.
We must be desperate.
Jesus Christ.
We lost one fat man. Here comes another one.
The sign Vince is in court again, eh? Jesus Christ.
No, he's already won. He won King of the Ring.
Right.
We've beat the government. Fred. We can get Fred back.
Typhoon pushes down Pierre. Complains about an air pull. There's a massive shoulder tackle, and Pierre bumps. I mean, I don't know whether he was quite ready for that bump, but
he still does it now. He takes some bumps.
He really does.
Now he's not in a wheelchair.
No wonder he's only got one fucking eye. Full Nelson is attempted by Pierre, then locked in by Typhoon, who drops Pierre as he walks the ropes to break it. Paolo distracts and Pierre attacks. There you go. And Pierre can't shift Typhoon with a clothesline. Goes up high, hits a dropkick for a 2. Gorilla puts over Typhoon versus Yoko, which is where we're going with this. And I think...
because Earthquake's gone.
Yeah. Had they got a link, the Quebecers and Yoko? They had sort of teamed together, hadn't they, and stuff?
Yeah, it's Survivor Series, Eddie, but I don't think there's really a link. It's just...
And John gone at this point.
I think he has.
There's one...
Pierre's about to become a pirate.
There's one Quebecer.
Yeah.
Quebecer, Pierre.
Johnny Polo's gone by the end of the year.
Oh, you needed to go though, don't you? Jesus Christ. He can't shift Typhoon. Oh, I've done this. Pierre,
shifting.
Yeah, Pierre is sent into the buckle and stumbles away as Typhoon tries his avalanche.
We'll do it again.
So he has to do it this time to the front. He clocks Johnny Polo. There's a running splash, and he's won his return match against Pierre. Jack?
Yeah, fine. Gets him over, I would say.
You know where he's going.
Got a nice look. He's okay in the ring. So, say a bad hire. He's basically there just to be fed to Yoko. So
I would have just liked him to be a slightly little bit more dominant, if I'm being really nitpicky, because I think, like I've just said, Pierre's pretty much not got a tag team partner, and he's no longer going to be a Mountie. So you could have easily let him win. But then Pierre does carry a bit of weight and muscle and stuff, so maybe it was fine for what it was. I'd be nitpicking if I really cared that much.
It was what it was. It was a decent enough TV match with, 2 stars. Stars.
2 stars.
2 stars.
2 out of 5.
It was about 2 stars.
It's about 2 stars. You know, we've got Fred.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's back where he belongs. In the bosom of the WWF. So
Stay away from a wall.
We've moved forward 3 weeks to the 16th of July's episode of Superstars, and we've got the big match that Gorilla was building up. It's Yokozuna versus Typhoon. JR and Lawler are on the commentary as Typhoon heads out to meet Yoko.
That's weird listening to that. It's like the Attitude Era Warzone, and then you got Typhoon and Yoko.
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it? Typhoon! Typhoon! My God, Typhoon! Yoko
Almighty that killed him!
Yoko attacks him early on. There's a big headbutt by Yoko. Typhoon rallies, he clotheslines Yoko, who tries to stumble out but doesn't drop properly, falls in the rope. And at this point, he's already stalling for time. The USA is chanted by the crowd. Typhoon cares
All
about
it. Typhoon.
Yes.
The fuck? There's that rumour that that was going to bring him back as Tugboat and teaming with Luger. What was that?
Why are you coming? It's Vince. He loves tugboats and American. So American.
Yeah. Tugboats in America. Apple pie.
That was going to be the
Tugboats.
Yeah, that was going to put him with Luger for some reason.
I love it. I'd love that.
What a world.
And he could have won the 95 Royal Rumble, King of the Ring off the back of this. And the whole world would have been sorted if Typhoon had won the 95.
Tugboat and Lex win the Rumble.
Yeah.
But it should have just been Lex because of how
He stumbles over.
He stumbles over.
Shockmaster. We've got to make him a klutz again. Yoko wants to test the strength, but he reconsiders and rakes the eye. He works over Typhoon with a big charge, but he misses. He's hit with a big avalanche by Typhoon. There's a big clothesline, but Yoko kicks out. Typhoon seems to set up his splash, but then at the last seconds decides elbow. He again kicks out. Yoko goes for a slam but stumbles backwards, and then Crush walks out and causes a DQ. We can't put Yoko over Typhoon cleanly. He's absolutely battered. He's battered at the end. I think the blow off to this is that he teams with Mabel against Yoko and Crush.
He's
fat man.
Yeah. It's really a shame Earthquake war there.
Because it could have
been the disaster.
It would have been a disaster for sure.
Yeah.
It would have been.
I mean, by this point, Yoko's pretty much jumped the shark a little bit. But Typhoon has got.
Too fat.
There's no interest in Typhoon coming back to beat Yoko. Like,
even though they're still in the remnants of the old generation, it still feels out of date.
Yeah, they cannot catch up, can they? And this is the problem with bringing him back and then not putting him in a proper different gimmick.
Just a tag man.
You'd have been better off putting him in a leather jacket and getting him to beat up someone and try and make him like big. Ironically, he would have been better off as one of his earlier gimmicks.
Yeah, Big Man Steel.
Like Big Man Steel or Big Bubba. Because at that point, it's a little bit more. You're getting away from the cartoony thing, but he's actually just come back. And once you see Typhoon walk out, you just think, why is it not Earthquake? Like,
you were not the leader of the team.
Yeah.
You were the second natural disaster.
It was fine for what it was, but yeah, I can't understand why Yoko didn't just beat him.
No, that's the biggest thing. I expected a 5-star classic. It's just going to be club and blows, but Yoko should just beat him with the bonsai or whatever. Belly to belly.
Well, after that,
I think that's why quite Cliff, because he's a real sumo, and they wanted him to lose to Yoko as a fake sumo.
Oh, Quake, it ain't real.
Yeah, that was poor judgment. Quakey.
But Hogan's on the other channel, so
you're a legitimate natural disaster, like you're not a real thing.
I'm not a fake. I mean, he was okay for what he was, but the Crush just going DQ. That's it.
It was a really good DQ.
It sounded like he come in and beat him up or anything. He just tricked him.
The problem is as well, even if whatever you go from with here as well, like, are you creating a tag team for Typhoon? Like, I don't.
Yeah,
is he another man on a mission?
Yeah.
Savage going to be with Typhoon.
Is he now a man on a mission? Yeah, exactly.
That's why it is a shame that Quake was there to make the save or something.
Well, he did hang around till the summer. His last match in the WWF was putting over Barbarian. So there you go. And that was still a thing. Typhoon versus Barbarian was happening in the WWF in late
Barbarian
94.
changed to
well, it's the only
Typhoon did get an IC title match against these.
I know, yeah.
We should have watched that.
No, thank you. But he would always have a place in Japan because Japan loves the weird things, and we found a really weird promotion.
Yeah.
It's
strange.
It's War and Romance, Wrestling Romance. War. Who did have a working relationship with WWE at one point?
Yeah, for a little bit.
And they some of the in this run, right? He teamed with Shinja. He fought Ultimo Dragon.
I know, he's in like a tag tournament thing.
Lance Storm, some weird sort of people. You think, has he worked with him? It's just so strange.
Great, we just have anyone.
But his partner is Shinja, who is the manager for Hakushi.
Who was the other Orient Express who got replaced.
It's strange, but they were pretty successful based on the outcomes of the matches. They won quite a lot. This was legitimately their last match in Wrestling Romance as a tag team.
It's the breakup of the team.
It's the breakup of the team.
Well, considering these promo at the end, I don't think he realised it was their last match.
But I think that promo was actually happened before the match because they head off to the ring. You've just won them. So it's a very strange person. And also there is a tie-in to Earthquake in this match.
Yeah.
In that Koji Katao was the one that had the shoot thing.
Yeah,
I can't believe he got a job again.
I'm going to say, I think, was it All Japan? Or SWS? SWS had gone bump, I think, at this point. He only lasted like a year or two.
Yeah.
They kicked him out there.
Yeah, because he was unprofessional arse.
Well, it's Koji Katao and his partner. Of course, we've got to get him on. I've seen it on the match list. I'm watching it. It's Giant Gonzalez, El Gigante. And immediately...
I'm sure he fights nails in War.
Well, I'm telling you, immediately, he's not in very good shape.
No.
At the very start of this, he's already holding the ropes just to stand up. And Shinja jumps him. And then we go to a break, and his son, I think that's probably because he just had to get onto the apron. He didn't want to just show you doing that. Katao is in trying to work the arm of Typhoon. Shinja breaks the hold. Typhoon charges him in the corner. Shinja tags in, but he's flare bumped off the top rope. Katao then kicks down Shinja, and he tags out. He does look scared for a moment, which seemingly annoys Typhoon, so I'm thinking, what's going on here? Nothing. We cut to Katao, and the belly to back suplexes Typhoon. Shinja's into breaking up again, so Typhoon hits his own belly to back on Katao, almost folding him in half. He misses his splash attempt though, and Katao tries a Walls of Jericho, but Shinja kicks him in the balls. Katao now, well, he does tag, I think, Gonzalez, but before he can get over the ropes into the match, Shinja gets a chair and just keeps gently jabbing him to his knee, which sort of makes Gonzalez slide to the ground. The referee shows no compassion, even though he's just sitting waffling with a chair, and starts counting Gonzalez down. Now, he does kick Shinja down. Inside, Katao is still fighting with Typhoon. There's a big kick. And Gonzalez has been counted out.
Did they lose?
Yeah,
I thought it was a DQ.
No, he lost. It was a count.
Because I heard the bell and I thought, I don't know what's happened because I rewound it. I thought, well, it must be the chair to the leg.
That's it was counted.
And then realised they lost.
Yeah, he was in the match at that point, and he was counted out. Even though he's standing next, most of the time he's on the apron, but he's then standing next to the apron.
Pointing him.
Yeah. And Shinja and Typhoon cut a promo, and they're number one, and them going back to the ring to have a match. Well, they look to do the match.
Yeah. But don't you see him carrying because he clearly
wrestling's fucked in it because he cannot wrestle.
No.
Come on,
you can. You will.
I mean, there is something. He's not even the kind of person who you can just put his fist and run into that. He's not strong enough.
He's a long, gangly man.
He's not even like a great attraction.
Not at this point.
Tall, but he's so like a bean pole.
He's a bean.
Well, he's just tall. Yeah. In Japan, they got loads of them. Baba at least looks weird. Like he's just a tall man who's thin.
No, Baba's still alive.
Baba's got the head and the thin arms and everything.
Yeah, it's awful.
I like the fact that this was even quiet for a Japanese.
Waving around him with Katao, who's a shoot man for some reason.
and then Typhoon and Ginger.
I love Japanese wrestling. It's just bonkers.
Just
random.
Who's turned up? Right, we'll make a card.
I did like the ref kept going, Ginger! From Ginger!
I thought Ginger was by far the best thing in the match.
But did you hear Typhoon doing his promo? They call him Ginger. He called him the Orient Express.
Oh, did you? Yeah, Ginger, that's true. I mean, let's face it was
Sato, that's it. Sato today.
Awful.
Yeah, it was very good.
It
was strange.
And that was it. Typhoon did stay on the indies. He had some weird matches. He fought Bundy at points and just random sort of big men matches.
I'm worrying that WXO, and the whole thing was he had a little car and he couldn't get it or something.
Yeah, that was a gimmick.
Oh, you could have told me that.
That was a promotion buying Smash.
Oh, he had a car and
and that's the one where Dan Severn was the big surprise, but they kept showing him from the back in his sweaty grey shirt.
Yeah.
Who is this man?
He did appear in WWF. He has been on WWF Network on Edge and Christian and stuff. But he was in the gimmick battle.
Yeah, and I think
as Typhoon as well.
That was Tugboat.
Tugboat.
Yeah, and he got eliminated.
So we did
third. Sorry.
So we did get the one more time. Yeah. At least we got the toot one more time.
I think he was advertised on the website as Typhoon, but he just come back and Tugboat.
But yeah. So thoughts overall on Uncle Fred's career, Jeff?
Well, he did a lot for very little talent, shall we say. He had a good career for what he was. Being family members helped him. But he'll always be remembered
no doubt
for falling through the wall.
Yep, without a doubt.
What a man.
I mean, when you look at him like this, you recognise that he's definitely the number 2 natural disaster by a long way. And he's nowhere near as talented as Earthquake. But he will always have Shockmaster. And I agree with Jack. It is the best thing that ever happened for the character and for him. It needed to happen. He always seemed very likeable.
Yeah.
But I think putting him with Hogan meant he could never live up to being with Hogan.
Nah, he was just there for someone that can job, which is close to Hogan, but Hogan can't job.
Yeah.
So you will do it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Right then, match of the run. Jack, you have one here?
There ain't many good ones, is there really?
No.
So I'm doing it, and I'm sorry, but I'm picking the Otto Vans match.
I think that's a fair point, fair one. I'm going to go with the Money Inc. title win when Money Inc. won the title, not the one that we just saw once. Just because I really enjoyed the finish of that.
I'm going for the job match where Sneaky Hogan was around. Because I've never laughed so much with Hogan just sneakily looking at him, hunging and bunging.
I love that. I mean, worst match.
So I'm going to go with the War Games because it is the hook of the show.
Yeah, I can't ever go with the squash matches.
Siegfried falling over. Awful, but this is the main
This is War Games. Yeah,
that Siegfried match, at least that was very early on, so it's kind of understandable.
It's the War Games match.
I'm going for the Kong match because they couldn't even get the right Kong.
I'm glad someone has mentioned that. It was a Starcade.
He was close with Taker, but I mean, come on, you booked awesome.
Tanker's match was terrible as well.
It was awful. That was terrible.
Jack. I'm sorry,
Jack.
MVP. Jack.
MVP. I'm gonna go for him as Tugboat because at least there was some.
I'm glad he's got a mention
there. I'm going to pick him. Of course, Otto Vans.
Well, I'm not. But I am going to say, ironically, because it was the worst match, I'm going to say Dustin Rhodes because I thought he did really well in the War Games.
I think I've got to go with Jack with the Tugboat era. Yeah.
What LVP?
Well, there's a lot. Larry really annoyed me.
I nearly put him as MVP.
So, even though the gimmick is dead, I'm still going to go for Larry because he made sure it was dead.
Well, I think
before the bell rang,
as much as he did, but then he cut that promo at the end as well. So I'm going to say Super Shockmaster because I don't get it. Once he opens his mouth and he's then a baby face.
Once you look at his face and he's got the shape of the face of Fred. I know that's Fred.
Yeah, I just don't get the Super Shockmaster at all. That's
like I say, I think
it's leading to Shockmaster v Super Shockmaster.
Great.
You can't do the same, man.
Sam?
I've got to give Super Shockmaster the gimmicks.
So weird.
Dead. I mean, you tried a little bit by making him a clut, so at least you've got some sort of a low-level comedy gimmick. But then why make him into a superhero who's angry at himself?
Doesn't make any sense. I mean, he didn't have a massively long career when you think about it. 88 to 86 maybe if you count his really early ones, but like 88 till 94, it's only 14 years. I mean, AJ Styles has been wrestling for nearly
6 years, 88 to 94.
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry, yeah. So 6 years, and then he was gone. I mean, I know he was on the independent scene, but like, no one went. Well, we
can't get him in ECW, did we?
No, exactly.
I'll guarantee if you want to look at it, he's probably been on at least once.
I'd love that.
He was probably a member of the FBI somehow.
Yeah, probably 1 week.
So, we now round out the episode, as we always do, with a full rebooking of every year of Typhoon's career. Now, we're doing a fantasy card, and we're just going to do it all about Fred. Doesn't matter, as long as there's a link. Look, you can link it to Fred Ottman. I don't really care. Did we all get 6?
Yeah.
I'll open with you then, Sam, for your match number 1.
My match number 1 is Big Bubba.
Yep.
Versus Big Bubba.
I don't believe
Rogers.
Well, we've all obviously had that.
Oh, that's exactly that.
I initially had Fred Ottman.
Yeah.
The Ottman. The Simpsons. Ottman.
Ottman.
And I'm putting over Big Bubba.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with exactly the same, and I've got Big Bubba versus Big Bubba, and I'm going to put over Big Bubba.
Well, I've got Big Bubba Rogers, which is Big Bubba. But
Rogers.
I'll have a Big Bubba Rogers.
You don't even go over.
No.
Not a good start.
You know, he's babyface. You've got to have him in peril first.
Yeah. My next match is Big Steel.
Yeah.
Big Steel Man or Big Man Steel.
Yeah.
This is Iron Mike Sharp.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Steel and iron, as you said. You dropped
Now I'm
it
putting over Iron Mike Sharp because he's louder.
You cannot go over. I've got Siegfried the Giant versus Jerry Saggs, who I think is his cousin.
Yeah, I think they are related to Dusty.
Weird relations, Jerry Saggs. So I'm going to put over Siegfried.
Shockmaster versus British Bulldog.
Yep.
Yeah. Fell on his ass!
That's the feud, isn't it?
Shockmaster's winning. So I don't think he ever lost.
He didn't.
He wins every match.
I think you're right, actually.
Next match is Tugboat versus Cody.
Yeah.
Tugboat winning story. He ended that story.
Wrestling has more. Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Tugboat Sokoa.
That should be brilliant. Now when it goes, whoa, it should just be. Oh dear.
When was it, Mania, when he won the belt?
It should have been there. I should have done that.
He should have done the running on the final boss.
Rock should have, instead of Mama Rose, it should have said Tuggers.
No, instead of Taker coming out, it should have been.
Yeah. Boom, and then it's. Oh, well.
We couldn't get Austin.
I'm sorry, Triple H. You're doing this all wrong, Carl. Right. Tugboat and Hogan versus Goldust and Stardust, because there's some weird relation there, and I'm going to put over Tuggers and Hogan.
Who's getting the win?
Who do you think?
Big Man Steel versus Bronson Reed. He's fat and
Great link.
he does the tsunami, which
does.
is a natural disaster. I am having that.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed's going to go over.
I like that link.
I'm putting Super Shockmaster versus Earthquake.
Yeah.
I'm putting over Earthquake because there's no saving that gimmick.
Big Man Steel versus Dusty Rhodes, and I'm going to put over Big Man Steel. No, I'm going to put over Dusty Rhodes, of course.
Super Shockmaster versus the Super Giant Ninja. There's 2 links. Super.
Yeah.
And he was in Mortal Kombat.
He was?
Yes.
Yeah.
As whatever he was.
Yeah.
Why worry you Mortal Kombat? What they got to teach? They've got to see you there. Where's the food?
Super Shockmaster.
DLC, get it on.
Super
Boom.
Shockmaster goes over.
Boom and
He never lost either.
No.
Next match, Typhoon v Dusty. I'm putting over Typhoon. Don't go over it.
Well, I've got the Shockmaster and Super Shockmaster versus Shang Tsung and Quan Chi.
The Deadly Alliance.
Because
Which one's the Deadly
and
Alliance?
I'm going to put.
Oh no!
I'm going to put over. Well, you know what? The Deadly Alliance is shit, are they really? I mean, they always lose. They're very easy to defeat. So I'm going to put over the Super Shockmaster.
They even a tag match. It's 2 singles matches.
Yeah, they're going to do a tag. No. They're 2 singles.
No, well, on the new game though, they am the main boss.
Oh, and then the main one on 11 is
the new one.
One, they've reset
No
it.
shit.
Oh.
There you go.
They're buying it now. Natural disasters beat Dusty and Cody.
Yeah.
Disasters go over there in a real team.
My main event is the Shockmaster versus the Wall.
Yay!
The Wall wins.
The Wall always wins.
Shockmaster's got his win back. No, he wins.
Finally gets revenge on the Wall. Well,
surprised both of you.
I've gone with the easy option of Earthquake versus Typhoon, and because it is a Tuggers podcast,
Earthquake's winning.
Typhoon.
Rather than the match that never happened, which is Tugboat v Hogan.
Yeah. It did happen as Typhoon, didn't it?
Yeah, on Super Tape 92 or something.
Super.
No, Battle of the Superstars or something.
Well,
and that was the first match.
Tuggers is going over.
Quite rightly so. Fuck you, Hogan. Get behind your curtain.
Yeah.
But if you feel that you would have booked the Wall to go over Tugboat, to go over Shockmaster again, let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.org, our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod, or our Twitter, which is @BCCpod. That's July done, and we are now going to start off August, but because WWE have fucked around with SummerSlam, we're now doing this at the start instead of the end. So,
and we've got to do 2 nights.
Yes, SummerSlam 1996 will open our August podcasts.
Great.
And then it will be my podcast, and I'm decided.
I thought Fred was your
bounced around, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be a Bull Buchanan podcast, whether you like it or not. There's no justification for us ever to do Bull Buchanan.
It's just him in a new shirt. That's it.
No, he gets better when he gets a tie. You know damn well he does. And there's a match on Velocity, so yeah.
Lucky us.
I mean, it's going to be very. I can't promise that it's going to be full of excitement, but nonetheless, I am going to say.
I can't promise it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate Bull Buchanan because it's my birthday and sod you. So there you have it. Before we move on to round out August and the summer with the Brawl for All.
Oh God,
that is going to be a nightmare. How am I going to say to you? What did you think of that match?
Yes,
and then I'm going to go. Oh, yeah, exactly. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms of rebooking. I know fantasy card, that's easy. But, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do.
There's a way around it. Maybe not making a shoot. For what?
Yeah, well, we'll have a think about it.
How would you do it if it was Taekwondo?
Yeah.
Who would win a Taekwondo tournament?
I suppose it's just working out. Yeah, maybe taking the shoot element out.
What would you have done if
brackets
was and beat Butterbean?
It does mean we're going to get to see some brackets,
yes,
which is great.
Bean.
So do join us back then. But from Tuggers himself, it's Jack Chan.
Goodbye.
And from the super shocking Shockmaster, it is Sam Chance. Goodbye, folks.